Visit GoArmy.com and learn about 150 different career opportunities available now. Esports and U.S. Army working together to make things better. We're here at the Esports Stadium, Arlington. This is the U.S. Army Presents Reload Collegiate CSGO Invitational. As we take a look at the schedule and where we stand, where we've come from. As you can take a look, there's Northeastern winning the first one, 16-4. Drexel winning the second game, 16-5 over Champlain. Then next up, Northeastern now has advanced into the playoffs at 16-6. And then UTD, JV, and Champlain, who lost their first matchups, are now facing off here right now. As we'll go ahead and take a look at UTD JV team, check a look at their roster and see where they're kind of shaping up. So as you can see here, we've got DeBoozer, Paint, Bait, Avnish, as well as Brian. So earlier we had Chris Fryrice. That was with us, and now we've got Brian instead, who will be subbing in for him. Let's kind of talk a little bit about what we had seen from this team last time.
Really not much, unfortunately. We saw the Boozer on the AWP, and Chris Fryrice, I think, was their top performer on that squad, and seeing him being stepped out, we'll have to see how Brian's able to hold for himself. As we know, Avnish is a sub for this team, and maybe as to why some of their chemistry might be off. We saw a few days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, we saw Fish Sauce coming in for his team and absolutely making the difference. So if anything in this match, I think we just need to see, well, I don't really know. It's hard to say. It was a 16-4 in Mirage, and they just kind of, frankly, they just got beat. It's really hard to say what we'd be looking forward to, other than we know how these players play, and they'll just have to reset and refresh themselves as they face off against their opponent, Champlain.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a flip side of take a look at Champlain and see how these guys had kind of shaped up as well. So Champlain on the flip side, I mean, they had a tough game where they faced off against Drexel in their matchup, where we actually had that score ended up in a 16-5 in favor of Drexel. Danjamin had some really nice shots. Then of course Lasky and Scarin, Officer, and Zarkin. I feel pretty confident. I think that Champlain is going to play this game pretty well against UTD JV. And so I'll be on the lookout, because Dan Janneman is had some really solid and very fundamental rounds. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the actual pick bans, because I think this is really where we're going to be able to make some deciding choices here. So here you have it, UTD JV. They have banned Vertigo, and then they also have banned Nuke. And then if you look over on the other side, Champlain has banned Overpass, and they have banned Train. So we will not see Overpass again, so that's a positive. But now we've got Inferno was picked by UTD JV, which is actually, as I look at it, that was their first map that they banned against Northeastern.
You are correct, Corey. And so as we look at this here, is one of the first times we've actually seen Dust 2 being on this rotation, and it is the Decider. Last time I think we actually saw Dust 2 as a Decider, but we didn't quite make it there. So Inferno and Mirage are our first two maps. UTD, namely, as you said, picking up on that was what their first ban was. We'll have to see. Maybe they want to test their odds on that site, and maybe we're looking to get some vengeance on Mirage on the side of Champlain. With that in mind, Corey, as we talk through these maps a little bit more, I think Inferno might be the tailing tale, as we've always said, as that's the fundamental map, and so is Mirage. So I think we'll absolutely have to keep an eye out on the team utility usage. We'll have to keep an eye out for really just overall teamwork, and not less of star performances, as we saw in some previous matches, such as some from Calm, and we saw from Breeze trying to step up and do it all for his team, but he's not able to do it solo, as you had mentioned. You need the support behind you. Can't just do it with a one-man show, and as we see, we find ourselves in the losers bracket side. So one of these teams is going to walk home after this match, after they are defeated. But best of three, Corey.
Yeah, I still think that we're definitely gonna see some executes on Inferno. I feel like Champlain's probably in a better situation. The first matchup, though, UTD JV was playing with the sub. This time we actually see Brian that's going to be joining into the game, and that was what we expected. That's who we expected to actually be playing. in map number 1, and we've seen this before in this tournament where they started with a sub and the team didn't look all that hot, and then after that we saw when they actually played with the actual 5th player that they were expecting to be playing with, and the game was so much more entertaining to watch. So we'll see where that kind of falls. We're being told that they're still playing with a sub, so that's something that we'll still consider. But UTD JV, I do think they've got a tough road ahead of them because I think that Champlain's probably a little bit more polished. And so, but we'll see. It's our first map is on Inferno, and we'll see.
Well, some things just to make note here. So Northeastern is who UTD faced up against. They went 16-4 on Mirage. And then Drexel went against Champlain, and that was 16 favored inside of Drexel, 16-5. So I guess if you want to kind of do the math there and think about it, is Northeastern was the higher seed team that they just dominated on Overpass Drexel, 16-6. So I guess if you really want to spin it, you could see that Drexel was able to get, or excuse me, Champlain was only able to get 5 against Drexel versus UTD was able to get 4 against the better team. I mean, if you want to try to shake it up in some sense like that, but I'm trying to find a story here, and there's nothing really to make of that.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
Other than I think this might just go, just based on how today is, we could see a very close match here, but we could also very well see that, like you mentioned, there's a sub on the side of UTD, and that could definitely shake them up more than it can help them. But I'm curious to see how Brian performs. We didn't see him in that first map, and who knows, he might be the difference maker. We've seen a lot of difference makers in this tournament coming through in later series throughout the day, and we'll just have to keep our eyes open for that. And I think, Corey, you said it best. There's no overpass, so we can be happy about that at least.
No quick rotations. So that's I'm happy to not see that. But Inferno is another one of those maps that I enjoy watching, seeing. So let's see.
You said that so strictly of just calling out to overpass.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of that map.
We sure have.
It's sometimes it's a fun map to play, but it's not a fun map to play over and over and over again. More importantly, it's not a fun map to actually watch over and over and over again because it's pretty standard. But we haven't seen too many things that have been different from one team to the other. A lot of quick executes, and then they immediately rotate. They're like, oh, hey, it's like event happens in A bomb site, go to B.
It's funny you say that, though. We've actually had some of the most exciting rounds of this tournament happening on Overpass, where we saw the 4K followed by an ace, and then in that absolutely ridiculous wall bang AWP shot that took place on Overpass. That was towards sandbags. Remember?
You're absolutely right. I think the
very highs and very lows, maybe to say for that map.
Yeah, I think the 4K and the 2 aces that you're mentioning, that happened after the pistol though. So speaking of pistol, that's going to bring us here where we're going to have Champlain. They're going to be starting off on the counter-terrorist side. They've got 2 players watching inside of mid and 3 guys that are over there towards the B bomb site. They didn't see an immediate rush there heading towards that bomb site. So now they're going to be setting up here towards the A bomb site. Danjamin just spamming through the smoke, seeing if he can help out his teammates at all, and he's going to be right here on the other side. But Danjamin takes a huge hit as Avnish has already taken out 2 players in this round. And I always like being proven wrong because that means that there's a lot more excitement that comes from it. And so, but right now you've got UTD JV. They've got the bomb planted. And currently they've got the numbers advantage. And now Zarkin is also going to go. So Brian's picked up 2, but he picked up the last 2 in the round. And so UTD JV, they start this one off just like they did against Northeastern. They pick up the pistol round.
So excuse my ignorance here, Corey, but I see a number 14 on Brian's knife there, and I've seen I've seen a count of numbers on knives before. Is that a?
It's called a stat track.
Okay, so that's the number of kills. Okay,
Yep.
I figured that's what it was because I saw 238 on someone else's knife, and I just thought that was a lot of kills, and I wanted to know for certain as this round is going to be as fast ending as it is starting, and that is absolutely the case for UTD, finding the immediate follows up to the pistol, getting a lot of kills on those SMGs. And that is round number 2 on the board for them. That's a pretty cool way to stat track.
With the etched in 14?
Yeah, for the knives. Like I said, I didn't quite know that. I made the assumption that was the case, but
Yeah, putting one of those little stat track tags.
Yeah, that would look really funny. The little digital things, the counters. You know what actually would be kind of funny if they did pedometers, like on the bottom of a knife for every time you pull out your knife and start making steps.
Yeah, there's always a question of what they were going to do with it. But here comes the push. They're heading here towards the B bomb site. And we'll take note. The fact is that the CTs actually do have weapons here. So there's going to be a challenge. Dan Jammin as taking out one. Bomb is yet to get planted. It's now in the process of it. Oh, man. He actually causes so much damage to Bait as he was low on health. And Lasky checking all of his angles. There's going to be the timing thing here, and it's going to go in favor there of Dan Jammin as they're still working into this site. There is another one. Now it's left up to Paint. Paint, he's in a good position, actually. Oh, man, as they were just crouched and just shifting or strafing across. And they will pick up this round here. The bomb is getting defused.
Corey, I've got another question for you. Is it Dan Jammin or Danjamin?
It's Danjamin. You're right on that.
Okay, well, he was jamming in that round as he found 2 kills and the bomb for himself. So thank you for the setup there, Corey. I bounced it off you and dunked that one home.
Two to 1. UTD's losing.
I said that with the full intent of just making you do exactly that, so thank you.
Oh, man.
This is the first gun round we're now going to see for both these teams, and I think this is a pretty telling tale we might have to watch out for. So Avnish being the sub, and he's doing pretty well for himself, 4-1.
Catch it.
And has a Krieg in hand. I still think that gun is pretty good even after nerf. I think it's just more people are playing the AK out of familiarity. That was the gun that was around for before I even started playing CS, so
Krieg has also been around for a long time, too.
Yeah, but no one used it, is the thing. People weren't using it nearly as long as they've used an AK, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, valid. Because Krieg has been around for a long time.
There you go. So Dabuzer finding the first pick there onto Lasky.
Used to be the SIG 552 is what everybody used to call it, as the SIG, is what most people would call it. Now it's called the Krieg.
Where did that come from? I don't actually know the history behind that.
SIG is the actual...
Well, I mean the Krieg, excuse me. I know it's the name of it is the numbers, SG553, but...
I don't know the history behind why it's called a Krieg. I know the model number before. And the weapon itself, it didn't really alter too much at all.
As we talk about that, we're seeing an execute come out here on the B bomb site. Officer not being pushed out of position, and Avnish looking, oh man, that's gotta hurt. Officer's doing it all now with that Galil, as it's all down to Brian and his AWP. He's got 20 seconds left. Zarkin's gonna find him, and he's gonna knock him out. So that's 2 on the board for Champlain.
Let's take another look here. This is where Officer, he had the angle. He knew exactly where, so he dropped 3 of them, and there's the op coming from Brian there at the end. But 2-2. So, oh man, I think Champlain is a pretty good team. And if they start off, if they end up finishing this one, I'd say that I'm currently having a gut feeling that this is going to be closer to like a 12-3, 11-4 scoreline in favor of Champlain, just for what I'm seeing right now. And they come up, and he's like, "Hey, open the door! Open it!" Goodness.
His teammate was at the door there, but he's able to make his way out, and they are not frightened by that first pick. Is UTDJV as they're still in apartments.
Man, Avnish just noms on grenades.
Yeah, it is getting close to lunchtime for us, and boy, he's eating bullets now, as that's taking him out of the round. As Brian's trying to poke his way out with that deagle, not wanting to take the fight. You saw he's gotten tagged up there on the wall. It's 3v5 as they're still trying to make some success with this apartments play.
Man, all right, so working here towards the A-bomb site. Smoke going over the top. That's going to kind of deter them even longer. But I really appreciate this. The fact is that they didn't overly get aggressive and kind of rotate, and they're not chasing after kills right now. There's 30 seconds. They're being thoughtful. They want to make sure that they keep their money as well as possible. So there's always a chance. I mean, a deagle's on the board. You could lose a weapon. There's Danjamin. But the action's happening over here too. Oh no, they started to rotate, made themselves out in the open, but that's still not enough as Zarkan picks up the last 2. So Champlain 3 in a row now.
UTD, they got a pistol round against Northeastern in the
That is
first. It
correct.
started off as a 2-0, if I'm correct.
I think that's correct, yeah.
And so we're starting to see some shades of that coming to fruition again as they had the pistol. Not able to convert into any more rounds just yet. I think it got up to 7-3, and maybe, yeah, it was 7-3 because at the half it got pretty rough, and so
11-4 at that half.
yeah,
Different map.
yeah, different map and different team, as you know we've always been bringing up. Maybe not hold too many of those same lingering things throughout the series, but now we see a little bit forward on that banana position. And that was actually the bomb. He got very aggressive on that spot. I think that was oh, excuse me, that was the Boozer.
Brian.
Just look to see who had the bomb, but now we're seeing a rotation over to A. The utility's going down towards Graveyard. That's a nice find there from Benjamin. He was blind and able to still connect to 1. Bomb's going down now, and officers on site.
Whoop whoop.
I just realized what I said. Completely unintentional. Good call out there, Corey. Now it's a Boozer. He's going to have to show the officer he hasn't had that much to drink, and it looks like his shot is still there as he connects on the Zarkanen officer. The lone survivor now. He's got a kit, and he's got plenty of time. He's going to start making his way over to Pitts. There's one player pointing towards Boiler. He's not going to see him, but he's going to find this one on. Oh, my goodness. No, what is he doing?
There's a slight lip to that, and so he got caught on it. Man, so UTD, all right. They've now picked up a round here, another round, so now we're all tied up at 3. I do like the fact that we have a deboozer and an officer in the same server, and currently officers on the CT side. It's just a fun storyline.
That it is, yeah. I mean,
especially for our puns.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's telling its
so
own
bad.
story as we're starting to see UTD making their way through Banana. And wow, Brian's very far forward, getting shot from both sides as Paint able to at least find one as they continue pushing. Nope, they cease. And actually, look at that. That was a full rotation on the side of Champlain. And
wow, no,
like,
that is insane.
That is like a yo-yo now as they are going quickly back to the guys. Run.
Goodness, they just pulled the string. Complete over rotation, and look at that. That's wow.
Well, they're able to find themselves in their positions at least. So Scar's on site. He's going to see the Boozer, and he's going to take him out. And Bait was checking Pit and able to swing back around. And now they will get the bomb down. So that's going to help the money going into the next round. As you can see, they desperately need it. But they really also need rounds on the board, as this is a 3v2 retake now for FAMAS and 2 AWPs. Payne's going to be the first one found here. He's not able to find the pick. And now it's left to Bait with 9 HP. Almost an impossible task, and it looks like... Okay, he's got it going on for himself, but he felt the blood flowing a little bit too much there and walks right into the crosshairs of that AWP, and we're able to find 4th on the round for Champlain. Kind of a little funny observer feed there. It wasn't showing his recoil. It just was very steady.
No, he played that well. He also had a good pivot point, and so he angled himself pretty well. I mean, there's a chance that Bait could have won that round. He actually almost had, I think it was Danjamin, right? I think Danjamin was the one that dropped that AWP just now, but I'll see if they can be able to get a pick here inside of mid. There's one inside of Pit right now. That's Brian. He's setting himself up with that deagle. And creeping up. Oh, yep. That's enough. All I need is a shoulder. And so Paint is out of this round.
Keep in mind the bomb's still at the spawn, so perhaps just looking to make this an expensive round here for Champlain, but we see the Boozer going back for it. See, Corey, I'm telling you, we should have done that soundboard. See the chickens? Walk! See how good that was? You thought that was the chicken? No, that was me. Corey, why do you like these quiet moments so much, huh?
I take it from Sadakis and Henry whenever they're commentating.
Oh, if we were doing that, it'd sound more like this.
All right, and bait is going to fall there to Zarkin. It's down to this 3-on-5. Heading here towards the side. Zarkin's got a chance. He utilizes that flame there. He picks up another one. And there comes in Officer 5-3 now. Champlain putting 2 more rounds back up onto the board.
That they do. But behind that bomb plan of rounds past, this has now opened the door for UTD JV to get some guns on the board. And once again, we're seeing that AWP on the hands of Avnish. Let's go ahead and follow along with him. I'd like to see where he's trying to find a pick. It seems like he's trying to see one towards mid. That's Lasky, the other AWP.
Yep, that's fine. That was probably more than likely see the one that's going to win that bounce. But there's Avnish now.
Yeah, looking through mid, but there is a smoke on the other side that he's having to see through. And the Boozer, nice entry frag there on Sarkin. So now they're starting to push their way towards Banana as we see only one player rotating, and now we're seeing a flank, 2 players coming from Banana.
This is going to be nice if they can hold it down long enough.
And that's an AWP as well coming on the flank, so they've got to start moving quick. But Paint's being found, and now Benjamin's burning alive Bates. And oh my goodness, what are they doing? They're doing jumping jacks on the site. You've got to run. If you're trying to do cardio, it's better to run on the site than it is to jump on the site, as that is going to be a clean round coming out now. The AWP, the M4 is able to be saved, and that's 6 on the board for Champlain.
Yeah, and it looks like they probably should have been playing like a KZ map beforehand, because they just could not get up on top of those barrels. And they were just on fire for a long time. Danjamin was actually able to get one. Here comes a complete push up there towards alt mid. And they've wrapped around. Look, got a couple players that are going towards apartments. They're going to be delayed for a second due to that molly there. And now, Scarin, you're going to have some fun.
Oh, the chickens didn't even want any part of that. They didn't want to see that.
Scarin, no!
Yeah, they all ran away. They knew what was coming. They didn't want to see any of that action. Protect the innocent chickens as the Scarin only picks up 1. He falls back, not wanting to get too aggressive, but still a good find as it's causing a reset situation here for UT. They're like, all right, how should we go from these options? They're still staying in the apartments, and it looks like they're wanting to take it from there still, despite seeing a smoke grenade. We're seeing Lasky, that AWP, and now the smoke's depleting. No one's going out. Oh, he's able to find one as the Boozer's getting shot from pit. Doesn't call it out. Now they turn around to see it. Now they're focusing a lot on that, where they're able to find one, and no more than that. That is a round number 7 on the board here for Champlain.
Yeah, you asked the question before this matchup is where would Brian be? And currently he leads his team. Only downside is his KDR is still at 1.
Hey, that's not bad. We'll take that at least.
That just means the rest of his team is not playing as well.
Well, we can see that by the score line, unfortunately, is not panned out in their way. As you see, their money's not looking great. They need to win this round, try to start getting something into their pockets. Especially getting 1 kill at a time in these lost rounds is not going to be enough to also stop Champlain from getting the guns they need. So we see Bait now making noise towards that B bomb site. He's joined by the bomb carrier as well. Seeing 3 actually on the A bomb site, and if you look on Scarin, he's making his way to the back of site, it seems. Still being quiet and taking their time. Brian is now going to get his location revealed and doesn't expect Dan to be pushing out from that angle. Now he's going to find one, and that means the team's going to be pushing on through Banana and onto the site. They've smoked off CT, and there's Zarkin. He's able to find one towards Bates. Only got 6 bullets left in the clip, and he's not able to utilize them. The Boozer's able to take him out, and the bomb is still not going down. It seems like they're wanting to find the frags before they feel comfortable, but that is allowing the rotation to come in. They still have not gotten the bomb. They could absolutely use that money in the next round, and there are now 4 players on the site. Still not planting the bomb. He's finding one at least on the Danjamin. The Boozer still holding on to this bomb. The other player is in coffin right now. He might be able to find the bomb carrier. It is Officer. He's looking through a smoke.
He's about to get flanked right now as well. And he, oh, man. So there we have it. Paint picking up another round. So it is 7-4. And ooh.
Just a little refresh coming in there as we see now a pause. Corey, I think I would have liked to see the bomb go down a little bit sooner. It did work out in their favor, but that could have gotten kind of dicey if the Boozer did not win that one gunfight. That would have been the bomb down towards CT, and it would have left them in a 3-on-2 situation. So winning one gunfight can mean the round, and as you've been mentioning, this is what we want to see from these teams. It's just one gunfight. So, Corey, do you have any intel for us about what this pause is? Looks like we saw some players skipping around a little bit.
I'd tell you if I had something.
Well, thanks for the help there, Corey. We're sitting now on round number sitting in round number 12. You call it as you see it. I can respect that. The money looking pretty good for Champlain despite losing that round, and now we're resuming the match. Not sure what that one was about. Officer actually getting the max 7 for himself now.
Yeah, probably expect him either by the sandbags or absolutely, of course, going to be playing close quarters. He's actually playing really close quarters. He's made his way up towards, he's right on the opposite side of the wall, I believe.
Unfortunate for him that this looks like it's going to be a quick A hit, but that Molotov's going to slow him down. Bates actually just walking on out there. It seems like his name is, he's baiting his team to follow him in as Avnish also gets taken down. Danjamin able to find one before he's removed from the server. Not able to find the shot is Lasky. He's going to call out the smoke and I was about to say nice avoidance of the smoke there, and that's the bomb. That's the shotgun making its way from the B side. He's going to find this one. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind. Got ahead of myself. I just felt confident. He found one in the shotgun. Usually accompanied by a second. It's just how the cookie crumbles in those situations, but doesn't find it, and Champlain able to get 8 on the board after that.
Yeah, this is UTD JV's pick.
Oh yeah, good call out. It certainly is. As we know, this map can feel a little bit CT-sided at times, and so I think if they are able to walk away, let's say something like a 10-5 to 9-6 scoreline, I'm sure they feel happy about that. And Brian, I think he's happy with that shot, able to clear out Officer. Officer does take one for himself before going, however, and that is Bait. The player going down. It's Bait.
Sarkin. Okay, there he was. He's trying to find himself that FAMAS. Officer had a FAMAS. And actually, no, what he did. Oh, that. Interesting. Okay. A little bit of a gamble to do something along those lines. FAMAS is not something that I would have kind of tried to reach out for. I think his only assessment that he had, though, is that he thought that the other team had a complete set of Deagles. And Avnish, that AK is going to rattle down Banana.
Yeah, Zarkin's actually going to go for it, and he's like, hey, look at this. I see nothing. I'm going to keep getting some more information for the squad as he hears them onto the A site. Now as Skarin and the team are just slowly picking them off one by one, and is now up to the Boozer, who is finding an exit on that round number 13. 9-4 in favor of Champlain. Looking very solid for them on UTD's map pick. Corey, not really sure what we need to see here from UTD. It just seems like I want to say it doesn't seem like they have a complete strategy in any of these rounds. They're just trying to find a slow default, not finding the picks they need to, and most of these rounds have come on the back of just individual gunfight wins, and so now we're seeing them
Here comes B.
quickly running over to that B bomb site. Yes, as you mentioned it, but the Molotov is going to be there. It's going to slow them down, and they're okay. Man. They're not stuck in it. It looks like they're about to be.
Brian. Look out, Brian. Oh, man. Always enjoy watching the player health bars just deplete whenever you see a flame there. As Zarkin drops 2, and there's another set of fire. Uh-oh, as Officer, it gets him 1 now. And there's another one, and could there be 3? And he sprays away, and there's his 3rd one after he resets his recoil. 10-4 now. And Champlain, this is absolutely, of course, their game to win. And before, a while ago, I'd had a gut feeling this is going to be either a 12-3, 10, or 11-4 half. And so now we see a first roll gun round. Oh.
It was just an improvised smoke grenade is what it was.
We were talking about that before. You actually gave us a good visual as you tried to showcase how some of these grenades were going. That basically is exactly what that looked like.
What Corey's talking about is that when I was in the production room talking with the team, I picked up a water bottle as if it was a grenade, and I said, Corey, go through the door. And as he did, I threw the water bottle at the wall. It took me a second to realize what you were talking about, but that was exactly right. And it landed even in the same position in correlation, so that's kind of funny. And oh my goodness, that was uncomfortable there as Bait had the smoke in hand. As now Officer is the lone man on site, but the bomb is down. Now Bait's finding his way out. Officer a little bit slow to react there, and now they're getting pushed on towards Banana. And able to find the kill now is Bait, and this could be a round for himself. You're seeing the no spray still in the observer, but I'm sure it's there as he was not able to land the shots, and that's going to be 11th round on the board for Champlain. Corey, you said it was going to be a 16-4 or 16-3?
No, I said it was going to be either a 12-3 or 11-4
Okay,
half. Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't remember you saying 16, so that makes sense. So you are exactly right on the money. 11-4, we've seen that 3 times today, if I'm correct.
You were absolutely correct.
This makes a 4th, or this makes a 3rd?
3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, the previous matchup was 13-2 with Northeastern.
Ooh,
and
it was
Drexel.
close. The 1 round off, the
Yep.
Corey Dunn special. All right, so here we go. 11-14. This could spell some rounds on the board for pistol for UTD JV, or this could spell the end of the map. And wow, this is a. Here we go. We're playing deathmatch now.
That's exactly right. Look, good old-fashioned TDM. But the problem is they. Oh,
Yeah, especially now that the bomb's down. This is absolutely just an aim server.
Officer. Ooh, maybe.
A
maybe.
double flank. And actually, he doesn't even find the kill, funny enough.
A flank to flank.
Dangerman is the one finding the kills, and seems like Brian's about to find himself some excitement, and that he does. Let's do the headshot of Zarkin. And the Boozer are the last 2 left here for UTD, but they pick up the bomb and they said, okay, well, let's play Counter-Strike again. No more of this Call of Duty business, and let's get the bomb planted. As they're on the B side, and that's going to cause a quick... The knife's going to come out, and they're going to start running. There it is. If only we had a pedometer to know exactly how many steps does it take to get from the furthest point of A apartments to B. They're both going to make their way towards CT, as we see one player.
About 400.
400 steps?
Yep, somewhere in there. I think it's like 402.
You're absolutely making that up. I refuse to believe you. Absolutely refuse to believe you. So we see now a 1v1 situation, which was a irregular round, as you like to say, is Brian now finding himself in a 1v1, and nice pickup there. That's going to be the 4K and the round number 12 on the board for Champlain, as he does not have a kit. So just making a staple there, or a statement, showing, hey, I can still aim. You guys got to worry about me in this half. 15-13 is leading the team. As we see 17 on the board for Dan the Man jamming. 17, and then Zarkin on 16. Here's that replay of how he opened up the player in construction, and then just making his way through Officer with ease. Seeing a save round as well coming out for UTD, and actually a little miscommunication as we see Paint fully investing down to $100, but the rest of his team at least has a comma in their account balance.
Where is Paint located at? He
on the wall.
He's on. No, he's on. He's actually over here towards the B bomb side, and that's why he invested the way he did. So that way he could at least control this side of the map a little bit more. I'm assuming that's his smoke as well. So he was able to get further down the map. Down. The challenge is their rotate from A to B from pit is a long one, but the action's happening right now inside of the A bomb site. They're making their move, and touchdown, or Kobe, rest in peace. As now they're falling like flies, and it's left up to Paint, and he's already shot his warning shot. And Officer
just doesn't even want to deal with it. He's just calling his team to come over and said, hey, Officer calling the shots. Who would have thought, right?
That's right.
And he said, hey, there's a guy over there. Go kill him. And that's what he did. And his teammate said, oh, boy.
Sick 'em, boys.
His teammate said, oh, boy, here I go killing again. So we seem to have our Rick and Morty references on load today. On load? What the heck? On dock today.
They can be loaded.
Loaded in, I guess, is what I should have gone with. I tried to put 2 things together there, and doesn't work. As Prospection is the name that I couldn't find a workaround either.
You keep bringing that up. I haven't brought it up to you at once at
It's
all.
it's a mental thing. I'm trying to do it for myself, Corey. I'm not doing it for you, and I'm not doing it for the people. I'm doing it for me. Just proving to myself that I can say something. All right. As we see here in round number 18. UTD investing all that they can. If they walk away with this round, they're going to feel pretty good. But if they don't walk away with this, that might spell 15 and then the map here for Champlain. As a reminder, this is a best of 3, so they have Mirage coming up next. But that's the map pick of Champlain. And UTD needs to put up more of a fight here in this match. Perhaps get warmed up, re-warmed up, I should say. They've already played a map earlier today. Got 4 rounds on the board, so let's see if they can do one better as Avni's going down on that banana site. The shotgun's going to find 1, going to find 2. Ooh. That's going to slow them down, at least for the time being, because the bomb went down. Yep, smart. Okay, never mind.
Oh, and there's a sliver there, and he doesn't see it. The timing. Bomb is going to try to get planted here, and there's 1. Oh, and he almost gets a second, and he does. Brian's playing pretty darn well.
That he is. He messed up his spray there and able to bring it all the way back. So that's 1 round better than they had against Northeastern. That's 5 on the board for UTD. And with that win, they're starting to pad the money just a little bit. And there's that opening from Paint with that shotgun. It looks like he was deciding whether he wanted to shoot or not. Ultimately, I think he made the right decision and just taking the kills where he could. Obviously, found all 3. That's even extra money in his pocket, but we don't care about that. We care about round wins. So now we see Bates only sitting on that pistol. There it is. I was about to say, I feel like he should buy something here. So now they've got a full stack of utility to work with, getting some control over Banana. And now, as you see on the side of Champlain, a much further back position they've had to play. Can't just go all over the map like they were doing previously. Got to respect this utility just a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm trying to take paying attention to how UTD's setting their players up. You got Paint and Avnish that are over in B. They both have the AK and an M4, and then they've got their MP9s playing long range. And DeBoozer now.
That was a strange peek there.
So DeBoozer is playing aggressive here, and that's the MP9 actually is rotating. That's Bait. Bait is actually rotating over there towards the B-bomb site. Wonder what triggered him to actually move over there. Maybe it's a smoke or something along those lines that they're trying to set up.
Yep, it looks like as he stood in place for a second, I assume he threw something. Now he's running on his way back. Yep. As we see, they are actually taking their whole team over to that banana site. And oh no,
why?
Paint.
What was the trigger? I am so confused right now on why that rotation came into play.
On to Avnish, and there goes. That is the free bomb site, and I have to fully agree with you, Corey.
There could have been a smoke cue or something, but if it was a singular smoke or a singular flash, that still should not pull 4 players to an A bomb site. But they can try to be able to rely on this retake now that they've evened up the round so far. They're all going to be coming from the same exact location. Except for that's DeBoozer, and DeBoozer's going to get dropped. Pushing inside the side. There's some trades that are happening. Left up to Paint, and Paint will be eliminated as well. 14-5. I don't know why. And also the way that they played the B bomb site as well. As Paint rotated completely, that left Avnish inside of the site by himself, and even Avnish was playing aggressive as well. So that was strange. Officer has left the server, and we'll wait for him to be able to join us again. But having Avnish actually play in the site, you could play passive in oranges or over by Coffin and just kind of get a peek, and then basically wait for your teammate to be able to regroup with you again. But the problem is he was just there by himself.
Oddly enough,
that's weird play.
He was playing right next to Coffin, and that might have been foreshadowing to his early exit into that round.
He backtracked to Coffin. He was actually like right on the stairs, right when you initially get up onto the platform.
Yeah, didn't quite make his way there, and
it's just weird. Just weird.
Yeah, Champlain able to take advantage of that as that's round number 14. As it seems like UTD is already starting to invest into this round what they can. They've got the money to do so on some players, and others they do not. Paint sitting at 2,400 after not even buying a grenade for himself. I assume that they'll sit around that 2,000 mark and try to play for overtime, and that'll be a mighty task ahead of them. And 10 rounds to go, as now we see Officer rejoining the server. And Zarkin just checking out his shoes, making sure they're laced up before we get into round number 21. You see him looking down there. Those are actually boots. They don't have any laces on them.
I think they've got laces.
You think so?
Yeah. Let's try to see here. Lasky, can you aim downwards just slightly for me, please?
I don't think they have laces, do they? Oh, well, now we can't see anything. But that's actually just swapping on over to the side of UTD JV. Oh, they've got a nade stack.
Oh.
This is a little bit early, but now they might find
Let 'em rain.
Zarkin. And
Boom,
actually
boom,
they
boom,
will.
boom, boom.
Look at that. Beautiful stack there. And they're going to run out and they're going to grab that gun. They're going to continue with that momentum. And it looks like they're not even ready for this on the Champlain side. The team split up. But
Wow.
Officer
Oh
able to
my
find
gosh.
one, and oh boy.
Danjamin is actually inside of his. They were still in their spawn, and they heard all the nades rain in, and now Paint's going, well, yeah, I got this knife. Man, I could really use some more skins, but I keep losing them on all my CSGO betting skins.
Not touching that one with a 10-foot pole, as it looks like UTV JV's doing the same to this round. As it's all down to Paint. He finds himself an AK. He doesn't have armor or a kit. Absolutely no reason not to go for this, as he finds already one towards Banana. His position is revealed. There's the Molotov, and boy, just when we thought this was nearly impossible, it is now absolutely impossible. But Danjamin has gotten tagged up by his teammate, and that allows Paint to at least get one.
Yeah, nothing's impossible. We've seen some crazy rounds even in this round. That flashbang was something.
Yeah, it was. It was a silent one, in fact.
It was.
You see, that's the hold from Danjamin.
That recoil, I love it. And then Officer with the lofting of the grenade right before Danjamin gets that last one there. 15-5.
And look at
Champlain.
this. They've got the AWP onto Brian now, which was usually in the hands of Avnish, who only has 6 kills to his name, so maybe not feeling it at the moment, whereas Brian's a little bit hot, I would say. 17-16 is his spread. He's now holding down that arch angle. We saw a lot of success for some of these players in this tournament already, namely so like Macer. We saw him going up to upwards of 30 kills in some maps, and now we see on the flip side an AWP in the hands of Lasky. Looking down long, and oh my goodness, looking down Banana, and that's the bomb going to go down. So that's a nice opening there for Avnish. That AUG able to do some damage. Got nerfed as well. That was a much longer time ago, but we see that the scoped weapons can still absolutely deal damage at these long angles. And so Avnish is spraying down, see what he can find. There's a 4v5 now for Champlain. Round number 15, map point. They're restacking up on the B-bomb side. One's coming out of apartments, and Paint's going to find him. 3v5. Starting to come out towards Boiler, one at a time. Bates able to find one, able to find two. So that should spell round number 6 on the board for UTD JV.
We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and the best part about this round is that they haven't lost a gun yet. Officer's trying to get some nice flick shots for himself to salvage something of this round. And now they know where he's at. And if you're UTD JV, I don't feel like you need to hunt him down. I don't think you care enough to try to get that gun out of his hands. More importantly, I think you're trying to keep the guns in your hands, as the most amount of money they have on any player is $350. They could buy themselves a gumball with that, and that is about it.
A gumbo?
A gumball.
A gumball?
Yeah, a gumball.
That's like an expensive gumball.
Well, I meant a grenade, Corey, like an HE grenade. It's $300.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was not tracking with you on that one.
Yeah, you sure weren't. And sorry, that reference must have been, I guess not a reference, but just a call out. But anyways, going into round number 22 here.
I probably would have been tracking with you, but I thought I heard you say gumbo. I mean, I might have tracked with you, but I was already.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's how you know. Corey Dunn is starting to feel a little bit hungry. We're getting close to that lunchtime. Shout out to Stu Dara, our lunch provider every single day. It's always funny, Corey. We'll talk about anything, and then whenever you start talking about food, I start thinking about it too.
Yeah. So there's the chicken.
Oh, the chicken. Foreshadowing maybe once again running out of there, not wanting anything to do with the apartment play here. You know, Zarkin's actually having a pretty nice map for himself. I think he was 18-6 is what that read. Lasky got a very forward position here. Ooh, Brian, this might suck. Oh, yeah, that did.
Ooh. And
Okay.
DeBoozer's got himself 2 now.
Well, that does not suck. At least they were able to return 2 for 1. And, well, all of a sudden, it's now a 2v3. Not sure what's going down at that A bomb site, but it's not pretty.
Yeah, it was so rough we didn't want to go see it.
Yeah, we're there with the chickens.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get on out of there. Danjamin's actually on top of the server with 27. He's taken out. And now we see Sarkin with the AWP.
Lots of footsteps here.
Yeah, they actually have 2 of those snipers. So now a smoke grenade's going down. There's actually no one on site here, so nothing to worry about. And this is actually where a dual op setup isn't too terribly bad. They could hold some angles. Sarkin, you've got the bomb. Oh, excuse me, Officer has the bomb, and I don't think they needed to do that. I think they wanted to get the bomb down, at least try to force them out of positions, and now Officer is not.
Yeah, that's the correct call, what you just mentioned. You can at least, if you want to try to bait out and see who is there, you should have flipped the script. You could have dropped the bomb to Officer, and then I apologize, can't remember exactly who was with them at the time. They could have continued to advance
Sarkin.
there. Yeah, so
Scarin.
Lee. Zarkin. Or, yeah, one of them.
It was Scarin.
So Scarin could have advanced, and then they could have baited. Officer could have baited with at least a bomb plant fake, and at least been able to see if that was the goal. But yeah, you don't advance that far with the bomb in hand. There's not many positives that come from that.
And Zarkin finding himself at a pretty forward position on this banana push, was able to dodge the Molotov, got a flash grenade for himself as he's smoked off Avnish, holding in that coffin position with that AUG. What do you see, Corey?
Nope, I'm going to hold on to it. All right, so.
I feel like I'm in danger, Corey.
You're not in danger.
Okay.
No, you're not in danger.
I feel like the Ralph Wiggum image there.
I just don't want to have a caster curse, and that's why I'm holding on to this one.
Okay.
So
anytime you start laughing, you don't tell me what's up. I feel like I'm the target now, but feels like I'm safe now. As Zarkin might not feel like he's too safe, but actually Avni's pushing. He has the AUG and he had the position. Didn't need to push forward there, but Brian finds the trade with the AWP, and they are now smoked off. They're not going to expect the boost, but they didn't want to shoot as the boozer. I guess he wanted to see how many people he could find before, as he gets taken out, but at least takes one before. Now it's a 3v3 site take. They've got kits, and that's the bomb going down. Bait, nice pick there from Banana. Should have used some utility there. They had the smoke grenade to use, and they decided not to, but ooh, nice find there on Zapain. They know one is towards Banana. He doesn't have to find him quite.
Why are they so aggressive?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Corey, I think this is one of those positions that you were talking about where you said teams are looking so much into trying to close out the map that they're saying, we want to end it here. They're trying to push too far forward, and we're seeing it's not looking pretty as it's now sitting on a 15-8 score line for UTD to make it all the way back into overtime. They've got the money to start making this happen, and if you see on the side of Champlain, they've only got P250s and a singular gumball for themselves.
Yeah, I'm just shocked. I mean, even the bomb plant, the bomb plant position, they didn't have those angles either, right? So they planted right next to coffins by the grill, and you're just open, and there's no teammate that was watching Banana. There's no teammate that was watching. It just doesn't make any sense on how they were watching those angles. But here we go. They're going to start to be able to push in here. Of course, they've got not a care in the world, and so now you've got Brian that's there on the site. Bomb's going to get planted.
Oh, if you would have found that wall bang, I would have been mad for them. But they're able to walk their way in with pistols, and suddenly we're finding ourselves in another retake situation. This time there's only one rifle in the hands of Champlain, and that's on Zarkin, who is in apartments. Now we're starting to see the utility come in. The first one on site is going to be Avnish. He's not going to check his angle, and he's going to check out of the server. As the Boozer finds the second pickup, there's one player towards pit, just playing the time, not trying to poke his head up, not trying to be seen, and they're actually not checking it just quite yet. They're very low on time. They're spraying through, and that's going to close it out. Champlain takes the first map on the board on UTD's map pick, Inferno, 16-8, Corey.
All right, so what I was laughing about.
Oh.
No, it didn't happen. So Yeah, so it
Drum roll
was
for
it
nothing.
was 16-4, 16-5, 16-6.
Oh, that's what you were saying. Okay.
And it could have been 16-7, but no, they were overly aggressive. They planted the bomb in some weird positions, and so we've ended up with a 16-8 score line. Of course, that's just for fun. That's not. There's nothing anything too special. They had a really big, really large lead against them, so. Nothing too bad there. So Champlain, they win the first map out of this best of 3. Again, that was UTD JV's pick. So now that's going to take us into our next one. That's going to be Champlain's pick, which is Mirage.
Yeah, we did not see a good showing from either of these teams previously in this tournament, so we'll have to see who comes out on top in that matchup. I think we saw much better team play overall for Champlain. A lot of good utility usage, and I think the name of the game there is that they were just able to take pretty much full control over all of UTD's hits. There was only a few times in which UTD was able to take advantage of certain areas, and I think most of their rounds from Champlain they lost because they actually got too aggressive in some sense. So if as long as they're able to keep their composure, I think they should have this one wrapped up, Corey.
Yeah, so we're going to take a quick break. Coming up next is going to be map number 2 out of this best of 3, Champlain facing off against UTD JV. We'll find out if Champlain can move on or will UTD JV push us into map number 3. We'll be back.
Like a wrecking ball, on fire, so high to the top is where I'm heading. Gonna be a legend. Gonna be a legend.
Visit GoArmy.com and learn about 150 different career opportunities available now. Esports and U.S. Army working together to make things better. We're here at the Esports Stadium, Arlington. We're heading into map number 2. So Champlain facing off against UTD JV. John, it's Champlain was definitely had the upper hand against UTD on that match. There was just a lot of just odd things of how they were playing that just didn't make any sense to me.
Didn't quite hit the mark in a lot of areas, and it didn't seem like they were quite clicking as a team as the side of UTD JV. But while we're talking about UTD, Corey, I was actually just looking through my wall, and I remembered I had something. It's my little degree from my time at UTD. If you can see here, it says, congratulations, new alumni. I don't know, I feel like showing this, but I was just thinking about UTD. I was getting a little reminiscent. So if anything, I'm just trying to show a little bit of school pride here and hope that we can see a little bit more of a competitive match from them. And that I think there's pretty easy fixes that need to make is maybe a little bit more patience. I would say they need to win more gunfights. That's just going to happen naturally with the gameplay, but playing more as a cohesive unit and not trying to force some rotations as we saw sometimes with one player would swing all the way over just to come back, and he would just keep doing this the rest of the round. You're more impactful where you can support your team rather than running around the map getting your step counter up. But here we are on Mirage. We saw this before on both of these teams, UTD falling and only get four rounds, and Champlain falling and only getting 5 rounds. So not stellar performances, but we are seeing some players coming online, and that's through Brian on the side of UTD. Finished with about 17 frags to his name the last map. They've got things going for them. They just need to put the pieces together. As if they do not, they will be eliminated from this tournament. And Champlain will move on to that losers semis, or excuse me, that losers finals, where they have the rematch against Drexel. Only thing stopping them is UTD now as we head into the pistol round.
Yep. Yeah, so we'll see here how this pistol round shapes up. And, of course, there you have it now. They're starting to head here towards the B-bomb site, very similar to what we had seen before from these teams. Of course, we've already seen both UTD and Champlain play on Mirage. So now you've got Paint that's right here holding these angle. Just a little jump peeking. See if they start to decide whether they're going to go off of smokes. You got Zarkan, who's got a smoke. You got Lasky, who's also got a smoke. So we'll probably see those. They also have a molly in the hands of Lasky. Here comes both of those smokes over the top. We'll see if that forces them. You see a molly that comes over here towards bench as well. So there they go over the, and that's actually wide open. It's going to be Brian there to be able to pick up one there, but they're not touched by these smokes at all as they're picking them apart one by one. Left up to Zarkan and Lasky here. And now they've done a really good job on the retake here. But Brian and his teammate Paint locking down that B-bomb site as a solid pistol round coming in for UTD.
If I'm correct, Corey, when UTD was playing this map against Northeastern, they won the pistol round for themselves and they got 2 on the board. And if I remember correctly, they also won the first round last game on the pistols and they got 2 rounds for themselves. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we've seen UTD. They've had a few pistol rounds on whether it was Northeastern or even in this matchup against Champlain, but then they've lost shortly after that. So it's about whenever we get to those gun rounds.
I do like the pistol rounds. It makes me feel like I'm on equal playing field with everyone else. Too bad there's only 2 of them.
Let's see here. Got Brian, who's got a nice angle. He's going to see them be able to push out here towards Palace. The whole objective is to get the bomb planted. And DeBoozer picks up 5. And that will be a nice little ace coming in for DeBoozer on this eco. But they do not get the bomb planted. And so now we'll see. You've got already Danjamin has bought himself an AK and a full nade set.
I'm actually surprised they didn't have one player watching Sandwich. They all ran through sites and, or excuse me, they all ran through Palace.
Yeah, you had 3 players that are dropping out of Palace. So and Glocks at that distance are not going to. They would have to have all impacted him. Of course, you're watching certain angles. They haven't checked underneath. Underneath there, so there's not a chance for them to. It makes sense. So DeBoozer was just in a good position at the time on a rush like that. So bomb is going to get picked back up as they're trying to take over mid. Brian shutting down Zarkin. I feel like if we start to see Brian get extremely hot, they might have a chance here.
We're already seeing DeBoozer with 6 kills to his name, obviously behind the ace of last round. That'll do it. That'll get you on the scoreboard pretty quickly, as now we see another B hit on the way. We see one lurking towards mid. He made some noise, and actually DeBoozer's getting confused on exactly where that's coming from, and he's getting chased down now. Oh my goodness, he shot way late, but he's still, okay, no, he won't find that, goodness. Scarn maybe getting a little bit too trigger happy there, and Lasky not able to find the pick. So now it's down to Danjamin, looking like he's not quite committing to wanting to do this fight just yet. He knows where one player's at. He wants him to poke. He wants him to get the easy fight, and that's what happens when you expose yourself. Brian will take him out, and that's going to get 3 on the board for UTD. They are already doing better than they showed last time. Last time they got the pistol against Champlain, they got to only 2 rounds. This time they are getting to 3. Money is starting to stack up as well on the side of Champlain. They are on a save round, or excuse me, a pistol round with some flashbangs and 1 smoke grenade. We're seeing another B hit, as I said that last time, and they made their way to underpass last time.
Yeah, you got 2 P250s and a Deagle here from for Champlain. And currently they're going to be working here through the underpass. You know what the things we're seeing here is Champlain is, they've lost one as Brian has taken out Zarkan, and nice nade. That was just a perfect timing on that one. And so now Paint has got him a second as well, and you know, mid is on lock, but Dan Jammin says no as he picks up 2 with the P250, and Bait though finalizes that round 4-0 now. As UTD, I mean, you can always find a way to start to get hot and start to make a difference here.
I'm going to take credit for this. I'm going to say that me flashing my degree and saying I'm still rooting for him was all that they needed, Corey. Sometimes you just need a little bit of coaching.
If that's what you call as coaching. A little pep talk, a little motivational speaker.
Yeah, see? That's what I am, Corey. Thank you.
Yeah, so Brian is going to have to pull back as he's going to be mollied out, but he does have an AWP. So you watch over there on top of Catwalk, and he's accompanied there with DeBoozer. That angle's a little tough. He's got 2 different angles that he has to worry about when he's watching Cat and mid at the same time. Still taking their time. I haven't seen enough like smokes and flashes or any utility really used from Champlain yet. That's the area that I'm curious about.
Now Paint's finding himself in a pretty good position. He might see 2 here shortly, including that of the bomb.
Yeah, just to go back for a moment, we only saw 3 rounds. We only saw a few rounds of Champlain on the T side last time we saw him, the Mirage. So we don't have enough intel on how they play. As Paint's going to pick up 1, and oh no,
wow.
He ends up losing that fight.
Oh boy, that's unfortunate. That allows Lasky to get the bomb. Actually, he just ran right past it. They've got 30 seconds left. They'd rather clear the site before. Ooh, little does he know there was actually a player there. Smoke able to protect him. He looks like he found him through a wall bang. He's gotten bait. Wow, look at those health bars on the side of UTD.
Yep, that's what I was going to mention. The fact that they've caused a ton of damage. They just haven't been able to finish anything. And so 8 seconds left here in the round, and Danjamin's got to make a call here.
And know where he's at, too. That's the important part.
Oh, got to get away from there. And he does. So they'll hang on to these weapons.
I feel like they had the chance to go for that, Corey. I think they did enough damage to where there was something to feel a little confident about. I think that opening from Paint is what slowed them down enough, but Lasky able to find the return. I really feel like that could have been an opening for them, but now they have rifles and utility, and they're going to feel a little bit more comfortable about this round. Doesn't quite catch one is Lasky. Doesn't see him going by as that's DeBoozer. You see we're starting to see an A hit in the works here from the side of Champlain. Officer having a slow start to this match, 0-5.
Yeah, they're taking their time. They're going to execute here towards the A-bomb site. They've got a full nade set. See what the timing is going to end up being here. And here's a quick counter here as well. As they were ready for it at the same token, but that one ends up, I think that molly actually ends up short there. And he's going to get shot through the plank. And Smokes have made it where they can be able to slide by, but oh, Bait just sees just a tiny sliver there to be able to take out Scarin there. The work still working in. They still have not made it into the site, and UTD is just waiting for them to get that bomb to try to plant it again. And so we're starting to see a bunch of 1v1 fights here. No one wants to be the one that goes over the top, and so now they're going to fall back and retreat. This is a fight over the A-bomb site. Danjamin and Lasky, and missing the shot there. Oh, through the box. They've been able to take out 2. Now it's going to be left up to Brian. Brian inside the site. He sees that the bomb is right there as he sees. Oh, and he does. Lasky picking up the last one, and that's going to be the first round coming in for Champlain. But man, that was interesting. Those 2 and a 2-on-4 and a bunch of 1v1 gunfights to make it happen.
First round on the board here for Champlain, and what a nice find that was through the ticketing booth to open up the round here for Champlain. Or excuse me, last round. He's going to see that one. He's going to see the crossing that time, and that's also DeBoozer again. Paint playing pretty far forward. He's getting a smoke down. We saw when he walked through last time, finding success. They might expect him here. It's looking to be another A hit as Zarkin's on B, trying to make some noise even.
Yeah, just trying to toy with him a little bit. Here comes the smokes and flashes over the top. Of course, there's a quick counter smoke to that one as well. They're going to be heading here towards the site.
And a quick rotation, actually. Well, they find one into paint, and that's going to mean they're going to run right on in. Similar positions as we saw last time. There's no gap in the smoke that we see here. So no player is going to be picked off through connector. And now it is a 4v4 retake as Brian is able to find Scar, and his officer's getting hit low, and Bates taken out from connector, and now another one's taken out from connector, and that's going to be Avnish taking him down, but now it's left to Brian.
Yeah, 1-on-3, it's possible, but Danjamin got himself one there as well. So 5-2 now. And if you take a look at the economy there for UTD, all right around 2,500. So we'll see. We got a couple Deagle. We got a Deagle and yep. So they're going to be fully saving here, except for that Deagle.
Now we're starting to see the players on the side of Champlain getting a little bit hot.
Yeah, got a couple P250s here as well.
Oh, there's one
and
right
Bate,
there.
Bate ends up having body armor, so they're kind of mixed up a little bit. They didn't put too much weight on one player or not.
But they have put too much weight onto one bomb site. And it seems like Champlain haven't recognized that yet. His paint's very far forward, and once again, that's one of those situations where he just walked right under his teammate.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday as well, where they just creeped on by, just caught the right angles at the right time. And so
his trying to
goal
get
is trying to get
far
the
away as
AK
possible.
away. Yep,
Yep.
exactly. So you'll see him toss an AK over that grating here in a second. Yep, and that AK is now gone. No longer usable here for UTD. So they're taking up a lot of time. They haven't executed yet towards the B bomb site, and through the smoke, Avnish actually had a nice little opening that he could see. And so officers, oh my goodness, as Brian, that's why they did the 4-man stack over there, because Brian can hold down the B bomb site by himself. And this round has just shifted fast for UTD as they've just been picking apart Champlain right now, one at a time. Now working into the site, and why oh why are you trying to rely on your utility? And now the score is 6-2. Brian doing a very good job on holding down that B bomb site, but you got to go back to the beginning of the round where Paint just creeps in and takes out this initial one. There is Zarkan. Again, he is completely caught off guard. He's just staring at the clouds. Oh, man. Sometimes, again, you get so caught up in setting up your smokes and flashes. You know, you don't have to make Oh, nice. Officer says, all right, we're going to make a statement, and more importantly, he makes that statement onto Brian. Yeah, you don't have to have already line up your smoke and flash, 15 to 20 seconds beforehand. So that's what we saw from that previous round. But 6-2 now.
Man, nothing quite wakes you up like a Deagle like that. I tell you, every time I see one of those, I'm not sure if there will ever be a point where that doesn't excite me. So now we're starting to see a little bit of a connector push. And Catwalk is where the bomb stands. There's one player there in Bates who's holding it. Making a lot of noise, not able to get into the window just yet. Benjamin. Finding himself there now. It's the bomb still pushing through in the mid. It looks like he's going to wrap around to a connector. And they're going to start making their way towards that B bomb site. Nothing too crazy going on here. Very quiet throughout the map. No one is moving. Danjamin's going to find one player, and that's DeBoozer. not deciding to repeat it. He's making some noise, and now we're actually seeing a rotation going from bait to catwalk. Now the player that was playing in market wanted to start running towards that A bomb site. Look at that. They've actually decided to go through connector, and they found two. The player on the B bomb site actually being taken down in the midst of that, and bait. Now Paint and Daboozer left for this retake. They've got kits. Not amount of time, but they don't have positioning. As now they're starting to go shopping, as you like to say, Corey. As Paint's revealed his position towards Palace, and he gets taken down. Nice shot there from Danjamin. And now we see the guns being picked up from the side of Champlain.
Yeah, if you
That was Nico.
Yeah, looking over at UTD right now, they're just broken. So you can see their economy has definitely been impacted because they won the previous. Now Brian, he does have himself an M4. That was an eco round because we saw at the very start where Officer picked up that Deagle headshot. And there you go, AWP brought to you by Lasky. And he's on the ladder, and he's quickly taken out now. They're going to start to be moving here. Oh, the revolver by Avnish. Ooh, there's a second one. That is just silly.
Corey, the name of the game in this tournament is eco rounds.
Yep.
Not only be able to get the opponents onto eco rounds, but
he can't make noise here. And he does.
Yeah. That's going to be his position. And there's Brian, the fragger in the server. Oh, excuse me, for his team. And not able to find the pick. But once again, he's making noise. They're going to follow him all the way through. Avnish already with 2 in this round. Only needs to land 1 of these shots. And we saw him land 2 pretty nice ones earlier. Brian's going for the long haul play. Excuse me.
Tons of time.
Scarrin's going for the long haul play. He just pretends like he's going B. He is now running all his way to A. He's going to take it through A ramp. Brian's not going to be able to see him right off the bat. And if he wins this gunfight, he has to go against Avnish and only a pistol. Now he's being quiet as he enters the site. Is Scarrin. If you look at that, Brian's actually rotating somewhere.
Which is slightly the... Yeah, he's setting himself up now. He's going to hear the smoke. He knows exactly a general area where he could be located at. Bomb will get planted. He'll know even further now. Ooh, if he throws any more grenades here. Ooh, Scarrin, Molotov, landing right there behind him.
And that's, Cora, as you mentioned, one of those times where they're using utility just thinking, like, this thing will win me the round if I throw this.
As soon as he threw that, they know exactly where he's at. But Brian's going to check that angle anyway as he goes over the top of the box.
Yeah, too much.
Yeah, that's not the angle that you want to be in. I mean, you're low on health. You go to firebox. There's so many different opportunities to be naded. Of course, that was an eco round for UTD as well. Now, 2 players had M4s, being Brian and Paint. So UTD, they lost their map pick 16-8. They're on Inferno, but now that we're on Champlain's map pick, they currently have the lead 7-3. But we always look at it, UTD, or so the CT side of this map, it is a CT sided map being being 9-6, 10-5, somewhere in there, closer to 9-6 though. So we'll see. But right now they're playing pretty well. But we've seen some rounds, just the eco rounds have just been silly in this game too. I've seen the revolver from Avnish. We've seen
Deagle
Brian.
from Officer.
Yeah, we've seen some really good stuff. But there's the AUG coming out for Avnish. And a quick little counter. Beta's going to go ahead and slow things down by throwing this molly, but they're not going to push through anyway. They already fell back before even that nade went off. And here's the rotation from UTD. And Daboozer going, wait a minute, we don't have enough intel yet. So they fall back into position. And Danjamin getting up into the window. He hasn't made noise yet. Creeping, checking his angles, but is this going to be timing related? Oh, no! Oh, my goodness. That could have been bad. That could have been real bad. And Paint is holding inside the angle. They're going to go ahead and push through the market area, but there's going to be one more player to worry about. Brian playing that one smart, as he knows now. He's like, okay, they must be heading here towards the B-bomb site, because why would you push through that towards that market area? And so Brian's going to be in a tough spot, but he's locking it down right now. And there's comes in the flank, and that was Scarrin. Now it's going to be left up to Paint, down to a 1-on-2. Bomb is being planted right now. And now I think he may have just caught him just in a minute. No, they didn't see him. They didn't see him jump through the window. And Paint holding the angle. And still hasn't seen anybody yet. Can continue to check here. Still hasn't seen anybody. There's one. Takes down the Opper as he was holding a harsh angle onto the window. There's the nade over the top. He knows that this bomb is planted. That was a fake. And he baits him out with it. Great job by Paint. And he picks up the defuse. As there's going to be 8-3. That was a really solid retake there. And Brian, even more importantly, holding down the B-bomb site by himself and allowing, at least kind of narrowing the numbers down. And Paint did a really good job. But you know, watching from what Champlain just did, they were just watching some tough angles. They were watching some tight angles, which led to a lot of openings in that 2v1. So, we knew that, or at least I felt like I knew that it was going to be a quick bait, and that's what we saw. He hit the bomb and pulled him from it, and that was it.
Now we see the AWP going down for Brian, as he is stuck with his back against the wall in mid. Trying to see if he can find anything. The gun's poking out just ever so slightly there as he's checking where the Molotov's at. And he's barely just misses one there. But he's now watching connector, and that's like, oh no, missing the shot, but Paint able to pick it up. And now, oh my gosh, that is just not fair there, Brian. As now the round's starting to crumble for UTDs, down to Lasky and Zarkin. Is Zarkin going down, and with his AK, he's going to have to do it all. He's not able to find one, and that's round number, oh, excuse me, not for UTD, but for Champlain. UTD finding their 9th.
That shot, that was a nice shot. Of course, redeeming himself after he missed the other one, and then it's like, sure, why not? We'll have to make sure that Brian turns off of his X-ray. Still not the deepest that we've seen in a wall.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Austin holds the rank for that one when we were on overpass. I mean, it was so far, so deep. But there you go, Brian. He's challenging it now. Champlain is going to call a timeout. I think it's much needed. This is your map pick, so you're definitely expected to do a lot more damage. And I think Danjamin just didn't coordinate with his teammates, because he bought a scout before the timeout.
He's saying, hey guys, how do I sell this? How do I get rid of this thing? Before I could right-click it and be gone. And, well, it seems like Paint decided to yawn, get a stretch in during that timeout.
See, Officer, they're all over the place, because Officer ended up buying an AK and then maxing himself out, while the rest of his teammates are sitting at 2K, and Lasky's got 4,000. So I would expect Officer, if he's still alive at the latter part of the round, and if it's left up to him, he's going to save his AK.
Well, Corey, as you said that, there goes 3 pieces of utility there.
Yeah, that was money just gone out the window. Goodness. Yeah.
Just when you thought you couldn't flush dollar bills, we find a way to do it here in round number 13. It's Brian once again holding with that AWP in the window as 2 players find themselves on mid. So that's going to push them out of position. Nice Molotov, but ooh, Zarkin able to find Brian and bait there.
I want to see that. I want to see that again. I wonder if he was aiming for one and got the other by accident, or if he got both of them.
Well, now he's out of the round. That's also the AK, so importantly enough. Not going to have a rifle. Oh, the bad timing there, and he doesn't find them as Avnish using that AUG. AUG.
There you go. You got there.
I was getting there, yeah. I was trying to spell it out, and now that's going to be the bomb. Shooting a bit early, but doesn't matter because now he sees it down in connector, and it's down to Danjamin.
Yeah, Danjamin's got that op, and
well, if he scoped in, they know where he's at. Yep, now they know for certain. And also, a lot of noise.
The barrel of the AWP is really, really long. Oh, as he pushes up with the AK instead. He does not live through that. And so he's searching for the op, and they do not pick up the AWP. So Brian lost a weapon out of that and did not pick up an AWP. So 10-3 though. They're UTD's playing this one well, but Champlain, they're all over the place right now.
Yeah, looking like they had enough after Officer invests fully into that round. They're able to still buy behind the loss bonus. So not all is lost here for Champlain. They can still get some synergy towards themselves. As we see Lasky once again with that AWP. Haven't seen too much work of it from him. We saw him take down Brian in one of those rounds early on, and I'm not quite sure if that made the impact or not, but we're going to have to see what he can do some work with. He's been trying to find the Boozer going towards stairs. Hasn't picked him off quite yet. Has had the opportunity. Now we see one player in Palace and the rest of them holding on to their utility, as you mentioned, Corey. Now here comes the hit. There's a smoke going towards Ticket. Brian's actually just going to push on forward, and they might expect this. That could be the catalyst for this round. He misses his first shot. Now it's just taking his over to Cat. He saw the utility come out. He knows he's there. The Boozer actually the first one to fall onto the stairs position. There's a gap in the smoke again. That is unfortunate there for Champlain, and Brian's able to find another one. It's taken down beforehand. Now the rotation's coming in. The bomb has fallen. It's down to Avnish, however, as exchanges go all over the place, and now it's a 1v1. Avnish has got a kit. He's got the time, and he knows the positioning. That grenade's going to do a good amount of damage, and I'm just kidding. Three is
Yeah, it's a little deep.
3's still better than 2, and oh, he sees him drop down. So Skarn, all he has to do is just play the positioning, and Avnish starting to get a little bit aggressive, starting to get a little bit closer. He know he did some damage, but he doesn't know how much. And now Skarn's playing this exactly how he needs to, ringing around the road. He saw the shadow.
I don't know if he saw him or not.
Oh, okay, so there it is. It seems like they're playing Ring Around the Rosie, and Avnish just decided, well, you're going to come around at some point, and he walks right into the bullets as 11 on the board, finds the AK for himself, and now this is the last round of the half. Last time we saw this, Corey, it was 11-4, but that was on Inferno in favor of Champlain. Isn't that right?
Yeah, so UTD playing well. They've found their own groove. Avnish has had some pretty good clutch rounds as well. Brian's had some really good initial picks. Payne has been finding slivers that are open, little gaps in between smokes. And DeBoozer's been holding these tight angles. They're starting to kind of put some things together, but Brian missing that op shot inside of mid. But he will not miss again. That 1v1 bout between Officer and Brian has been going Brian's way every time. And there goes Skarn. Skarn is out as well. Officer's at 3-14. Ugh. He's died every single round, and so has Skarn as well.
Wow, that's just unfortunate there for Danjamin. Started spraying, lost control. Bait saw him, but didn't see him the whole way through, and now it's left to Zarkin and Lasky. As we're seeing a heavy rotation, he's going to even hear him coming out, so he'll have the advantage as Bait, and he's going to find the shots. As we still have one person left in Lasky, and there he goes. 12-3 score line, not a 11-4, but 12-3. That's the second time we're seeing this score line. And as you see on the scoreboard, we have 18-7 on Brian. Like you said, he's come online in this map, and he's done it in a great way for his team as they lead immensely going into the second half. However, Champlain, we know what they're capable of doing. We saw that on Inferno. And they can equally have a good start for themselves. First and foremost is with the pistol. If they want any shots of trying to turn this around, they absolutely need to start with the pistol. And Lassy's playing through mid. He's going to find one as the utility starts to bloom. And they're going to walk right on behind it. I believe we saw this last time we were on Mirage, and that is too much leniency there on the utility as, Skarn is getting mowed down on the side, and UTD has run their way in. The bomb now has gotten planted. It's a 3v3 retake. There is a kid on the side of Lasky. Officer coming through Cat. He sees there's one player on the bench. The health not looking great in favor of UTD as well. Just a few bullets will close it. Ooh, that's a nice shot there from Officer. That's going to open up the side a little bit more. He's going to find one more, and the last player is on the bench, and that is DeBoozer, who is out of the round, UTD. Not able to get the pistol round, able to do some good damage, but that is not the matter. Champlain starting the second round with the 4th on the board. Corey, I saw you shaking your head a lot of times as we were going through that retake. What did you see?
Just silly gunplay. You're running away, pulling out mollies, not paying attention. There's just a lot of rough edges. But now we'll see. So now Champlain, they picked up the pistol round. see they've got themselves set up there towards Palace right now. And currently, officers watching this A bomb site by himself. They have nobody there with them. Now here comes, he's going to go ahead and throw a grenade to slow it down, but there's still nothing to be able to detract them from coming into the site. And again, relying on utility. As Flashbang comes over the top. And they get an easy bomb plant, but tries to spam through the ticket booth. Can try again, but the players already moved by, and that was Paint. Paint did a great job pushing through smokes. That's what he lives in the smoke. And right there, now it's going to be left up to Paint down to this 1-on-2. Again, getting the bomb down, taking away 3 players out of the set here. Going to take down the bomb. Oh, my goodness. And Danjamin is going to get this defused, but that was a sloppy round, 12-5. Still in favor of UTD. UTD did a great job. I mean, they took over the bomb site and got the bomb planted, and then almost Paint. Again, I'm a huge fan of him pushing through that smoke and then able to take out 2 players.
That was an eco round as well.
Yep. Yeah, of course.
You couldn't ask for a better way to lose. And I've said that before. Is you got all the guns out of the hands of Champlain, and you got the bomb down. So you made it as expensive as you could, even though you didn't win the round. And so as we head into round number 18, we see all AKs and an AWP on Avnish now.
I'm kind of curious. I mean, taking a look at Champlain on why they had just 1 player watching A. They had 2 guys watching inside of mid. They had 2 guys watching B, and the players that were watching mid were nowhere near on a quick rotate for A. So I'd look back at that demo and question it a little bit of why that setup was the way it was. All right. So now we've got Brian here. He's been tagged up a little bit, but now he's going to try to lead the charge here for his team. But, oh, no, as Officer finds DeBoozer inside of Connector. Now Danjamin trying to spam, see if there's any players that were trying to rush up into the A-bomb site. Bomb carrier is on A ramp right now. Zarkin gets peeked. Avnish catching just a shoulder, and that's going to be enough.
And that is the bomb site. There's no one else there. They actually stacked 2 players towards, and 1 player in jungle. That is Lasky, but they're, oh my goodness, they're actually rotating all the way back to B.
Of course.
Why not? And
they found the opening here. And of course, they will be rewarded here.
Skarin might actually hear them. Yeah, he sure does. You see him moving his cursor. He hears the footsteps, and look at that. That's a rotation coming over now from his teammate Benjamin, or Danjamin. Doesn't connect the shot. That was not the bomb carrier. Now the bomb carrier is on site. They're start planting that bomb now, and it looks like they're just calling for a save as he just books it out of there.
Yeah, he should be saving this weapon, but his teammate's challenging, so, yep. And then he realizes he's going to get tagged in the backside. And now Skarin has given away his position as well, so it's going to be hard to save any type of weapon if he's going to try to get out of there.
Well, they're not hunting him down. Oh, actually, I take that back. Look how fast these players are.
Oh, look at this guy. Well, actually, that's going to be Bait, who's wrapping around through T-spawn. He committed to it fully.
Oh, his knife's still out, though.
Pulling up.
Oh, gosh. It's a standoff. Who can pull their gun out faster? And oh, no, this is... That is unfortunate there from Scar. Not able to find that first initial shot. And that's a gun out of his hands, which he called for the save even before the bomb went down. And so now that's 13 on the board for UTD. Once again, Corey, to mention, this was their map pick on the side of Champlain. And
learning that means nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is night and day from what we just saw. It's like both of the teams said, okay, it's your turn. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So they've got 4 Deagles out, and also you've got an MP9 here for Lasky. Lasky's going to hold this angle right now with the Deagle. It'll probably rotate back towards Connector to hold it with an MP9. And so they're going to be creeping up here towards Catwalker to see if they can find the first one. DeBoozer. Oh, no. Skarin finally, as he's found himself 2. And Danjamin, look, just like that, it's already down to 2 players from UTD. This was a save round. Of course, there was an M4 brought. Actually, I take that back. They bought all the way out. They just so happened to end up with Deagles. So...
Payne's made noise now, so they're going to know where he's at.
Why
did he wait so long?
Because he wanted to make sure it was good.
Yeah.
And at that point, by the time you line up that crosshairs even further, all they have to do is just take a step back. But Avnish, He's going to see if he can do it. It started off as a 1-on-4.
And he does have the bomb. The players definitely know where he's at, and they're all stacking towards connector. He doesn't know that, however.
Yep, but he can still cause tons of damage here.
Absolutely can. He's
Oh,
sticking
they're
it out
not-
with
they're
that
not-
AWP,
oh my
and it
goodness,
looks like
they're
he's going to get the bomb down.
They
Oh.
know exactly where he can be planting at. And there's the plant. Now we're going to see them start to adjust. They actually don't move at all. They're all going to come out the same angle here. And there's one. Oh, he peeks out wide if he just sidesteps. Of course, he may have sidestepped directly into the molly. But Avnish getting the bomb planted, taking out another weapon. But still a really solid round from Champlain as as Scarin started the round with 2 deagles inside of mid. And here you go, take another look, and there's the rattles them off as he just stepped right into his crosshair.
Yeah, Bait just tried to protect his teammate a little bit too much and actually stacking. So the recoil working out in his favor, and just the bullet connecting in his head as Danjamin misses the pot of flowers there. So we'll see the succulents remaining for a little bit longer as Avnish finding himself with a Krieg again. Seems like he likes the scopes of these weapons, and now in mid we see AWP.
Oh, no,
okay, well
that fell
a,
short.
that's a little bit too far away. Should have warmed up your throwing arm before you threw that one out there. And
Oh.
he had it right, just a little bit too late to pull the trigger. I'm starting to notice these players are taking a bit longer to line up their shots, trying to do it with absolute confidence. And boy, that's what's going to happen when you try to peek that angle as the Boozer knocks him out of the round. And oh, Avnish finding a pick, and that's going to open up the B bomb site, and they have one left. Oh, actually, no, they got the one on. I was going to say they had one left in connector, but that's the bomb going down. Officers running through connector. And now we see Zarkin. Zarkin and Scarin. Why did they have to be on the same team? But regardless, pushing his way through apartments, and it looks like they're even prepared for it. Dropped a Molotov up there. Not actively watching it, but Brian is positioned over there, is jump peeking it. Zarkin's getting pretty far forward. He's going to see one and shoots very early, not looking for more information because he wants to start the site. Brian able to find the last 2 kills of that round, and that's round number 14 on the board for UTD JV. The money is absolutely broken on the side of Champlain. They are going to have to save and hold on to these pistols and see what damage they can do. And Cora, as we know, eco rounds have been incredibly strong in this map.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this. If this
Hey,
is gonna be a
I
strong
feel
one.
like I keep saying that every single time. I'm just going to wait and see what happens.
I'm gonna lean into this one. This is a different type of round here.
Oh, yeah, and that is a very fast push down to connector, and it's going to work
Just
out.
not challenged. The one path to take, and they take it.
Yep. That is a very fortunate position for UTD, and that's basically going to spell out 15th unless we see some absolutely bonkers shots here from Champlain. And it looks like Lasky was trying to find his way up the ladder room. Bonks his head. If only he had his own ladder to get into that room, and now all the flies are dropping one by one. The flies are dropping, that's not a saying, but the players falling down inside of Champlain. As Brian finding 2 for himself and is also on 25 kills in this map. As Payne's able to find 1. Maybe not realize he's on 2. And once again, Corey, that's what you're talking about. That's utility. It's going to work out for him this time because it's gets pistols, and that was actually a pretty good use of it there.
Yeah, that's the right utility.
If they were pushing him, however, we'd probably be saying something differently. But they were not. And now we see Lasky's on the opposite side. He's going to find 1 here, and Avnish doesn't. Oh, okay, that was close. He's going to find himself a Krieg. And if this was pre-nerf, I would say, wow, that's a huge win.
I mean, getting a weapon, period, is good to have, especially because their money is still not right. So you can see they're going to end up buying FAMASs and a few nades. Let's see what he ends up. Oh, let's see. So
did they overbuy a FAMAS?
he bought I think he bought another weapon there too. So, all right. So 15-6 in favor of UTD. So they're set up right now, and that bout is actually all the way inside of the apartments. No, check that. That was actually from underpass, and so they got the bomb down. And pushing up is going to be Scar, and he's going to get eliminated. Bomb is still dropped right now on the staircase.
I can't believe Avnish is playing that aggressively with that AWP. He was walking into him, but as you mentioned, the bomb is down. That's a nice Molotov, going to force out the position, but not able to connect the shot. Finds it the second time through, so this is an opening here for UTD on this B bomb site, but you've got to grab the bomb first, and they're able to slow him down just enough as we see Zarkin and Officer making their way over from Catwalk. Yes, Catwalk. Brian getting the bomb down now. They know where these players are at after that utility. Still checking market. They knew where 1 is at. Brian's going to find 1. And he sees the last one. So that is going to be a difficult take here from Officer with his FAMAS. He actually dodges the the flash grenade. But Brian, too strong in this map. He finishes out the round with 28 kills. And UTD 16-6 on this map pick of Champlain. Doing them 2 rounds better, as it was a 16-8. Now we're going to Dust 2, Corey. The second time we've seen Dust 2 in this whole tournament, and that will be the decider to see who moves on to fight against Drexel.
That game was completely different than the first one. If you would have isolated and just paid attention to one versus the other, both of them, I'd tell you 2 completely different storylines. That's just insane on how both of those maps went. There's no consistency in the world anymore. John, no consistency.
And Dust 2 is definitely that map where it's gonna. This is gonna be a boxing match. I feel like the first one was an absolute skunk of a match, and that one was even more of a skunk of a match. And now we're on to Dust 2, where it's just. That's all I've got.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I want to see both of these teams at their top notch. Now, UTD, the JV team, they actually came out playing extremely well there in the second map. Every one of them, Avnish, had some really, really, really good rounds. You had Brian, who had some really good rounds. It was a good, UTD played it extremely well. That was not the same Champlain team that we just saw from the very first map. Though that team that played in the first map was really, really, really good and was making some good shots. And so we'll see. I'm curious to see what map number 3 has in store. I'm not going to make any assessments. It could go either way. We might see some really good action, or we'll see something different. So here coming up in just a moment, we've got map number 3. It's going to be Dust 2. The loser of this matchup goes home, and the winner of this will end up facing off against Drexel, who is there in the waiting. So we'll find out how this one plays out after the break.
The eternal wonders of space and time.
And we are back here. Make sure you learn more about Army careers in science, technology, engineering, and math at GoArmy.com. More than 150 soldier possibilities ready and waiting. Again, we're here at the Esports Stadium, Arlington. A lot of great matchups that we've seen throughout this tournament. We're in day number 6. This is Group F. We're currently in the lower bracket round number 1, and we'll see who is actually going to advance to be able to face off against Drexel. If you look right there, you've got your map picks that are right there in front of you. And the first match was actually picked by UTD JV team. That was on Inferno. Champlain won that one. That was 16-8. Then you had Mirage that followed after that, which was actually Champlain's pick. And then UTD won that one 16-6, which brings us to our third and final map of this best of 3. Will be on Dust 2. And so we'll see who is actually going to take it in the end. John, this matchup and the way it's played out, it's been interesting. But I'm ready for some good Counter-Strike. I'm hoping that we can throw it back to a Dust 2, kind of a classic Dust 2, and see how it goes.
Yeah, as you said, there is absolutely no consistency anymore, and so we'll have to see how we face off on this map. And so I think some key things we're looking for is Brian is really hot right now, and he is playing lights out Counter-Strike. I think he finished with, it was 25 or 28 kills?
Yep.
28 kills last map, and obviously that's a great performance. And if he's sticking on that AWP, I'm curious to see how many picks he'll be able to find towards that mid view there.
I'm going to take a look at some of the rounds and stuff that we've had thus far here in the tournament. But it's been some good games earlier today, and I'm hoping that map number 3 will tell us a different story. As we are going to do the knife round here as well, so we'll see how this goes. Let's see.
Was not ready for that. Hello, here I am, sitting
Yep.
down, paying attention.
Yep. So we, of course, we're waiting for the. We'll have to have the server restarted. We gave them the go-ahead, so now we have to wait for it. We'll have to reset everything again here for this matchup. So this may take a moment to get us back into play, because the game, of course, it ended because you're supposed to start it up. So that's gonna get it. We're looking at a third map here. And we haven't seen a whole lot of Dust 2, so we'll see how this goes.
We've only actually seen it once.
Yep.
I think the important thing to note here is just in this matchup is keeping Brian under control, because we saw him go absolutely nuts in that second game in Mirage, and even on Inferno he was having a good game for himself there. So they've got to manage the battle against him and keep him cool, keep him cooled off. On the flip side, Champlain, they've just got to find some of that same success that they had on Inferno because, as you mentioned, they kind of looked like a different team in some sense. Not for the better going into Mirage. And so I think one of the things I said towards the beginning is who would have the better teamwork, who'd have the better utility, and most importantly, like who would win the better eco rounds. I think we've gotten to the point as we just need to see who's winning the shots again because in this matchup, like you said, there's really no consistency of what we've seen. Some of these takes haven't been quite as successful. We've seen a little bit less structured play, so to speak, and more of that traditional, not traditional, but online puggy play, as you say. I think at this point, this match has definitely come down to landing the shots, and I think Brian landing nearly all of his shots in the last map was absolutely the difference maker.
Yep. Well, Avnisha also is playing really, really well on that second map. As we go into it. So currently we're setting up here, we're going to be setting up the server, UTDJV, and Champlain. So we'll see how we can get this all set up. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket while we're here so we can kind of give you an update on where things stand right now. So Northeastern, 16-4 was our first one. They advanced and they faced off against Drexel. They won that one 16-6. So they have advanced into the playoff bracket. That's going to face off against Pittsburgh in that double elimination playoff bracket. We're going to start seeing a lot of this now where the bracket's going to start to fill out. We're going to start to see what matches we have ahead of us. On the flip side of that, Drexel, they beat Champlain 16-5. And then after that, Drexel lost 16-6. And now we're currently in the lower bracket, round number 1. UTDJV has got one and Champlain's got another. And in the waiting is Drexel. And so we'll see if who's going to be playing against Drexel. So, a lot of Counter-Strike being played today.
Absolutely. We haven't seen a single game go over to double digits for both sides of the teams. To the highest we've seen so far is 8, and that was onto Inferno. So once again, Corey, for people here to recognize patterns, we've seen 16-4, 16-5, 16-6, and then 16-8, and then back down to 16-6. The only piece of that puzzle missing for the straight is the 16-7. Actually, wait, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, see, that would be a straight.
Yeah, but that's where, of course,
I'm kind of embarrassed now that I had to count that out loud. I said I was good at math, and oh boy.
As long as you didn't have to go past 10, you didn't have to pull off your shoes. So, we got eight players currently in the server right now, just waiting for the remaining 2. Yeah, just kind of, I don't want to, it's hard for me to dissect what happened in the first map and the second map because I feel like it's one team didn't play really well in the first map, and then the second map, the other team didn't play really well. So, and there really wasn't. I mean, looking at like strategies, the only strategies that we kind of saw or any tactics we saw was really in the pistol round. So let's go ahead and dive into it. This is a knife round, which will decide who is going to be starting on which side. And there you go. You're going to see some quick slicing. Left up the bait. Bait's gonna fall there. Actually, you actually saw some earlier parts of the round where teammates were knifing each other. So, because we saw quite a few of those where we saw assists there in the play there too. So,
So Corey, if you saw me shaking my head just a few moments ago when you made that take off my shoes comment, I was like, what on earth are you talking about?
Did you finally get it?
Yeah, unfortunately my facial expression showed my whole way through it too, and I was regrettably on camera. So if you want to go back and watch the VOD of that, you'll see me looking confused for about 6 seconds, and then I realize it and I start laughing because I was embarrassed to know that.
Because you started counting to
I started
11?
no, I didn't start counting. I was like, take off my shoes for what? What's the correlation with 10? And I was like, oh, 10 fingers. Duh. And so as we get back into this pistol map, we see that UTD has already found the bomb site, but they have not found the bomb going down. And there it is. Deboozer is able to get it down. There's one player poking towards his window, and Deboozer's going to find him. But there is a flank coming through, and oh boy, it's not working out for them. It's now 2v2. As there are no kits in the hands of Champlain. Danjamin and Lasky, the last two standing, and they're going to have to make their way in pretty soon here. They're working together, at least going at the same time. They find one, and the last player is on the bomb, and that is Deboozer. He's already found one in this round. They stack up for him, but they challenge him at the right time. So UTD finding the first round on the board and taking their first. Did he let go of it?
Hold up, no.
No, he's got time.
Oh, you're calling out UTD as well, so.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah, so there you go. Champlain picking up the round there without a kit, and so, of course, the pistol round, you're going to buy, most of them bought just armor. So 1-0 now. That retake, they had 2 players on both outside of B, also 2 inside of tunnel. And so there's the retake. Now let's go ahead and take another look here as we see them advancing into B tunnels. That molly will slow them down or possibly could even deter them, as now they're rotating back to lower B.
Brian's leading the charge, too, so keep that in mind. If he's the first one to fall.
Avnish has got his revolver as well.
Ah, yes.
Which we've seen what Avnish can do with the revolver. And the scout coming out by Lasky. Now they're going to be able to push out inside of mid. Here comes the pop flashes over the top. That's going to cause quite a few players going to be blind and to jam in. Oh, there's Avnish and Brian. Those are the 2 that we talked about. An officer taking down one, and the bomb was trying to get planted by Avnish. It just doesn't because Zarkin is there. Nice little tactic, trying to be able to smoke off over there towards the CT spawn and rush up towards B. But Champlain picking up the round. But they did get the bomb planted in the first round, so we'll see an AK and AWPs coming out for UTD. The operator here is going to be Deboozer. Deboozer watching the cross. There is not a smoke yet, and that's coming in for over the top for Cat. They are working long A right now. And Paint is completely blind as his teammate Danjamin helps him out with that pop flash, and he peeks out, and that's a rough one there. And
oh boy, here I go killing again, says Brian. Finding the first pick onto Officer as he's running on into the site. Yeah, he's trying to do it all, just finding one player not ready for that at all. And ooh,
what did that catch? Oh, it ended up falling way, way short.
Yeah, that it did. So it should have walked a little bit more forward, but they're not coming from CT. So if ends justify the means, that means it didn't matter. Oh, Brian. Here we go. He's going to find one. Actually, not going to pick him up. Lasky's at 19, and the bomb is just now getting planted. That grenade's not going to hit the mark. Missing. Now it's left to Bait and Deboozer. Deboozer might be caught out here. He sees 1 and 2 crossing through.
Yeah, through the uprights on that one. Misses both. Oh, my goodness, Deboozer. But he does have a teammate being Bait. And it's down to this one-on-one, and Bait picking up the triple, and he gets super excited after the fact. But Deboozer was there with him. Thank goodness that Bait was there because he was able to pick up the last 3 as we take another look. Here's his angle, one after the next, and he rotates here, gets the quick little reload, and then finishes the round. And now UTD, they've got themselves around, and Lasky gets shots through the door from the AWP from Deboozer.
Now Bates making it quietly through these doors, and as we see Zarkin's getting very far forward. Okay, now they're just getting their way out. Might have heard those footsteps as you see 3 players stacking towards A long now, and that's a pick onto B, and that's going to give them the sight. Oh, they've got the knives down. They might not expect.
Yep, they've got time. They'll make it through. They won't be challenged there by the B double doors.
Okay, well, I was going to say Officer at mid could have seen them there.
Yeah.
Didn't matter anyways, and so that A stack was ineffective, and Brian's got 3 on the board for himself. Might find a 4th. He gets a nice spray through the wall, but ran out of bullets. That's a rifle down, but here comes Bait. He's still feeling hot after last round, and ooh, you know, now they're just starting to throw guns away. Their mining position is not exactly stellar. Yes, they're going to get the bomb down, and they're going to get these rifles. Now, if you're Omnish, you're trying to get that AK, I would say.
He's already got it.
He's got a
Oh, no,
Galil.
he's got a glow. You're correct. I thought he picked up. Oh, that was sorry. I was watching the wrong play. I was watching
need to
paint,
call them
yeah.
out. Trying to get the gun from. They're showing him where to go. He's not able to get there in time. It's still a rifle anyways in his hands, and so now not quite there is Champlain to be able to get a full stock for themselves. So they're going to go pistols, armor, and some utility into this one.
Yeah, they dropped the AWP over for Brian, and I believe is Brian. Brian is the leading charge. Good little flash over the top.
Ouch.
But it is a typical long A nade stack for those two players. Oh, sorry, that was 3 players.
What is the purpose of what those deagle shots were supposed to do? Other than just show where your position's at, and Avnish finds the opening on the B side, and once again, hey guys, let's come take it. It's ours now.
Yeah, you got Brian that's going to be watching the cross here as well with the AWP. There's one.
Ooh.
So see if he's also got other teammates that are also helping give this cross. So this, going out of CT spawn, you really don't have a chance there. And now Officer is being spotted, and he's going to check out. He's going to see if he can be able to take out Brian here in small. Oh, he does. That deagle from Officer is something else. And so he's going to pick up the AWP, but how long will he be able to hold on to it? We'll find out, because he has to worry about T-spawn as well as he's angling back. Of course, this round will go to UTD, but it's all about him trying to save this AWP, and he's going to get attacked from both sides. They're all angled. They're swarming in right now, and Avnish will get this one. He's going to go pick up the AWP as it slides his way.
That scared me for a second. He just swiped the knife like, oh no! Just barely able to pick it up at the last moment there. If I was Officer at the end of that round, I actually think I would have found that first kill, got the AWP. Since there was so much time left, I probably would have just tried to throw it away.
You don't know, because the fact is you might be able to hold on to. They might not chase you down. You might find an opening or something like that. They've got money on the other side, so they were going to buy an AWP if they wanted to. So, and Avnish, who picked up the AWP, he had a good spawn for long, and so that's why he's holding on to it opposed to any of his teammates. So now they're pushing here towards the B bomb site. Little do they know that there was actually 3 players in this bomb site, so as they clear it out one by one, they're just going to make an assumption, but it doesn't really matter. And there he is inside of the site with Zarkin. And left up to Skarin and Officer here for Champlain.
Well, it seemed like Zarkin was trying to take his gun out. It didn't already have it out, so maybe once again, Corey leaning too much on that utility to try to do the work for them. That's going to spell out round number 4 here for UTD. Losing the pistol and able to bounce back on the board here on Dust 2. The second time we've seen Dust 2 in this tournament. And UTD looking very sharp, playing as a team, playing as a unit. Champlain not able to get any momentum for themselves. Dangerman's got 7 kills to his name. The rest of his team isn't looking exactly the most stellar. He's going to have to get some help.
One player on the side of A. They're going to challenge it out, and Officer will get one. Is he going to stay alive? He does. He'll keep that M4. So 4-2 now, 4 rounds in a row. Coming in here for UTD. See if we get the long pick. Nope, he's going to be. Oh, DeBoozer finds the op shot inside of mid. They've got a double op on the T side on Dust 2.
That is a strange idea, isn't it? Well, I guess it's not an idea at this point. It is reality.
You've got. Well, yeah, it's on the T side, so they're challenging inside of it. That also means that they're starting to feel themselves. Like they feel really, really good about how this game's going.
Well, that might have been the demise of Champlain last map. Could have been feeling comfortable as a 16-8 on Inferno, and they got 16-6.
Yeah, I think there's more to that story than what was really.
Yeah, you could be right. His bait's starting to come alive here, and he's 8-4. That's the Molotov that's going to go down on site, but the bomb's going to go down first, as now the AWP is going to find bait. 2v3. They have kits in hands, and now Dangerman's turned it into a 2v2. He's going to poke it. He's going to see one in the smoke, and nice. Lasky's able to find one. They know the last person is towards the car. That's going to be round number 3 on the board for Champlain. Danjamin getting 3 for himself, and now on 10, leading the server with Brian being in second at 9. They're going to have to go through many more gun rounds to that of UTD as we see multiple players with $10,000. It's going to dwindle now, but that's at least 2 more gun rounds they're going to have to get. So round number 8 and 9 are going to be difficult rounds here. It has to feel a little bit good at least. Stop the bleeding where they can. 4-3 in favor of UTD. And once again, not throwing the smoke towards mid.
Yeah, Avnish has got the AWP. He's going to challenge here against Officer. Officer going to bail out of there now. And Danjamin gave up his AWP to one of his teammates. I don't know if it was to Lasky or Officer. So now you can see them trying to still hold down. The Officer has given up long A. His teammate is actually joining him over here towards Catwalk. But look out, there's actually going to be probably a bout here with Scarin as well over on Catwalk as they're starting to be able to push up here. Scarin just on the other side of this smoke here. Pop flash over the top. He is going to be blinded. And there they go. They line up for him. He picks up 2 of them. And he's just right there. He's going to get caught as he's trying to find a new weapon there. But they did push into the bomb site. And Officer gave it completely up. Now they're starting to move in here. He gave up everything. He gave up 2 players pushing in from long. And so now they're going to rely on this retake. They had a really solid retake in the previous round. But they've got 2 ops having to utilize this on this retake. And Avnish going to play this one aggressive with the AWP. Can he get a double? And he captures a 1 in the backside. Now Danjamin. He knows that there is now a 1 there. And he's going to get quickly traded. And Bait going to town down to all by himself here in this one-on-one. Zarkin over the top. He does not have, oh, that's a great molly. And he does catch fire, but he does not have the time here.
That was a good round there from UTD, able to take the site, but I think you mentioned it, that was not a good rotate on the side of Champlain, and that allows UTD to get on the bird even further. So there you go, let's find the opening from Scar, and he looks like he was struggling to get the gun as he shot again. Tried the left click for some reason, or maybe his hand just twitched, and now we see round number 9 on the board, this time throwing the smoke down, and it is just a fast B hit. And actually, there's no one there yet for the side of Champlain.
Yeah, because they're playing with weapons. And so now they're going to rush directly into the site, and Zarkan, they know that he's right there. Oh, but he picks up 1 through the door. I think that was just pure reaction. It's kind of a fadeaway shot. Didn't really, I don't even know if he knew what was happening when he was doing it. He drops the weapon. He drops the AWP to Danjamin, which is a good call out because he is low on health. He's down to 7 HP. And Scarin's going to sound the alarms, letting them know that they're inside of tunnels and shooting randomly, not actually hitting anybody. And then there's going to be a molly, and that's going to push him into a choke point, and he's going to fall.
Yeah, sometimes when you think of the pros and they're able to shoot through the smoke, you just want to relive that moment. You want to be that guy who's able to hit that sweet shot. There are repercussions for certain plays like that, Corey, and I think you just shed light on that. Is trying to get all the guns out of the hands as they can. Danjamin was able to find 1 pick and get away with the AWP. He's 12-6. I think they'll be happy to have that in their hands. Now to invest in it. So now that is going on over to Lasky, as we were expecting to see that. He's been their main opera this whole series. It's now 6-3 in favor of UTD. No smoke once again on mid. They are playing it risky. Now there's actually only 1 smoke. And, oh, player pokes through, and Danjamin was able to find him, and Avnish able to find a pick towards
but neither one
mid.
of them caused damage to each other.
Yeah, it was on mid B where that pick was found on the Zarkin. And like you said, they saw each other, and they said, oh, and they both ran away from it. Lasky finding himself on the A-bomb site now as the rotation comes over to Catwalk. Wow, there's a player really far on long A there, given what we know. Well, coming out through mid. There's going to be a little gap in that smoke, and Danjamin's in a nice spot, but he can't win the fight. Now the site is theirs. UTD is on board now on that site, and the bomb's going to go down. This is going to be a called save early on here for Champlain. They're going to spray through the smoke, see if they can't find anything, but Brian's in a perfect position in case they try to come out. I highly doubt they do, and actually they are. They're actually checking for Brian, and he finds 1, and he doesn't find another, but Bait's able to follow up his teammate. Officer's the last one standing. He's going to pick up this AWP, and he's going to run for the hills.
Yeah, good job by UTD realizing that they went ahead and fell back, and they took over mid, smoked up the CT spawn area, and went ahead and rushed towards the B bomb site. They had complete control at that point. So 7-3 now in favor of UTD. We'll save this op. Take a look and see if anybody has an op here for the T side. And see, Avnish is in
there.
There
It is.
Yep, and they end up buying it. There's going to be an AK that's going to be left in spawn.
I'm surprised they haven't. I guess he had a good spawn to make it towards A-Long, but okay, he wants to play the AWP through. Can't walk there, but they didn't get any information to see how many players walked over. They didn't smoke mid. They would have only seen one. And now it's actually a very far forward push there from Zarkin. He's trying to make his way in, and oh, excuse me, that's not Zarkin. That's
Scaring.
I was scaring. Yeah, messing up my names. Oh, he clicks the. He thought he shot the button or shots, but did not. And hit his key a little bit too early, swapping that gun out. Now he's pushing his way on in. Officer able to find one shot. There was another one. I'm not sure if he realizes that as he's turned away, and now he's looking back towards A-Long. And hey, there we go. That's a nice shot there from Officer. And it's down to a 2v2. The bomb site is on hands with Brian at the B site. Gone down, and they've got a little bit of a ways to make them on over there. They have one kid in the hands of Officer.
Yeah, taking over, they've got nobody's going to be on the back site, so Brian is going to try to be the first one. Here's a later flashbang, so that's going to delay them a little bit further, but they know exactly where he's at after he throws it. There's going to be a late molly. Now you're going to hope there's no smoke here, and so he's going to have to stay alive for a little bit longer. That's going to pull him off the bomb long enough, and now he's going to have to go for this one fully, and that's going to do it. Great job by Paint utilizing that molly. The only thing that would have been able to save them, and he actually saves his AK as well.
He could. I think he was going for the AWP. That's what Officer just dropped, and he lived. I thought he was going to die there, and I think he thought he was going to die as well, and that's why he didn't try to pick up that gun. And so now we see an 8th round on the board coming for UTD, and once again, no smoke going down mid. I think they might have checked it this time, because look, Brian is already on the site without anyone there from Champlain. Oh, a lot of utility coming out, and that's a man burning alive. And Danjamin, who's got the bomb? Okay, it is Brian, and oh, excuse me, it's Paint. And now it is going down. Two people falling towards mid. So Bait was able to hold that angle, and now he's getting a little too aggressive. Could have held where he was at and forced the players to come to him, but Officer finding one pick. Now Skarin's going to try to make his way in. Lasky's on the flank. He's going to find one, and that is the Boozer. So now they know that there's two players coming from this angle, and Skarin finds his way onto the site and able to find one kill. Now it's left to the flank and Lasky. He's got the AWP, and he says, no thank you. I'm going to keep that for round number 13. Number 9 on the board here for UTD. If I'm Champlain in this, you got to throw a smoke down on mid, because the fact that UT is getting to the site before they are is not a good sign. They're just giving up that B bomb site, which is allowing bomb plan after bomb plan. You see on the side of Paint, $11,000. They've got a smoke grenade. There we go. Now smoking down mid.
Still not a good one.
It's something, you know. It's baby steps. And now they see nothing. So it seems like they're going for a fast A-long hit as they send two players towards B. Paint flashing for his team. They're going to start pushing forward. Lasky's completely blinded. And now the smoke's coming out, blocking off CT. Lasky's looking to get frisky as he pokes out. Gets tagged up, and now is calling for the rotation for his team. And we see Zarkin trying to make his way through mid, and there goes Lasky. That's a UMP fighting from Catwalk there. That's not going to do much damage. There goes the flank as well. So we see one rifle in the hands of Danjamin. And okay, that was not smart there to be running around utility in hand. Danjamin's putting it all on himself. He's finding 4 in a 1v5. He should just start defusing it right now, and he's not going to. He's going to throw down the smoke first, and he's going to play out the time. Here we go. Now he's on the site, and it's actually Brian's. Oh, no.
Oh,
He
he
has to
pulled
reload.
off of it. And this is a long diffuse, too, and I love it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
It all started with that Dangerman 4K as he ran through the smoke and found one player with utility, finding the shot on the second. Another player runs out of the smoke, and he quickly takes him out, and that was that. You don't really see a stick like that too often without a kid. Now, once again, just 3 players going towards that B site with no smoke.
Oh, man. Dangerman, I mean, just coming in. I mean, you saw the initial frag that he had. You caught somebody off guard that had a grenade in their hand. And then after that, he just went to town. It just didn't stop. Couldn't slow him down.
Well, there goes Brian. Able to find a return, and Officer finding himself in a very forward position and quickly exchanges for that AK. So this should be the 5th round on the board here for Champlain. Dangerman giving his team some momentum heading into these last couple rounds here. And Lasky finding himself tagged up again, has the AWP. He's trying to get aggressive. They know exactly where he's at. Double Molotov coming in. It's going to take out Lasky. Good utility uses there. Dangerman, the guy who did it all last time for his team, is in a pretty good position to take out the bomb carrier, and there it goes. It's on the ground, and that's the last one falling in paint. Round number 5 now for Champlain. I think this was 9-3, right? At the biggest stretch we saw.
I can't recall.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was 9-3, as we've seen the
We'll
Champlain.
see it at the half.
Champlain's won the last 2 rounds, so yes, it was 9-3.
Yeah, we'll see it at the half.
Seems like Brian is absolutely not only leading the charge physically, but trying to lead the charge for his entire team. I think he might be the shot caller as well. Now we're seeing them into B, looking like they're going to get a setup here. Brian's watching towards mid, and one player is actually pushing out, and that's Zarkin. He's able to see. Oh my gosh, he's able to find 2.
I really, really appreciate Avnish's revolver. It's always funny to see.
It's not what it once was. I didn't play when the revolver was a thing, but I've watched plenty of videos to know that that gun was not what it should have been.
Yeah, it was a funny weapon to play with. They're holding down. Got 2 players inside of B, and Officer finds the bomb carrier bait in lower B. Now it's left up to Brian and Avnish. Oh man, over the top. And Avnish, he's going to try to do this by himself. He's got 40 seconds. Be on the lookout for the flank. You got one player that's going to be Officer flanking quickly inside of tunnels. He's down to 8 HP, so. And that will do it. 9-6. Yep, it was, like you said, it was 9-3 at one point.
There you see the scoreboards. 19 leading the server is Dangerman. Having a pretty solid game for himself.
Yeah, and hopefully as we're watching this game, you'll see Champlain, more importantly, you see Dangerman carry that over here on the T side, because his play style on the CT was very aggressive. Think about how many retakes he had to do. See if he can be able to translate that as a T here. And off the start, Avnish blind, but there goes Brian. Brian taking down one inside of mid. That was an aggressive push by Brian as he's able to take down Officer.
And that completely halts the A long push as they're making some sound towards mid now. And seemingly a little bit indecisive is where they want to go. They're all high-fiving and tagging each other now. Seems like they got very up close and personal.
Oh,
Brian finding another pick, and that's the bomb.
He's going to try to continue. Probably get a little highlight reel from Brian during this pistol round. Just basically walking in and stealing kills and then running away. The Boozer right here. He's joined with paint inside of mid.
See one player going for that flank towards A long, or not a flank, but holding that angle rather.
So
now falling back the truck, and we see one player rotating to B.
What I'm wondering right now, John, is what is your goal as Champlain? Like you haven't like done anything utilizing mid, so you wasted a lot of time there. You you basically allowed them to know that you were there for as long as you were. So now they're going to go ahead and fake it out inside of mid. They've already pushed all the way up, and now they're going to start to move their way into the bomb site. And they're winning gunfights. Sometimes that's what all that really matters is they've won some gunfights. And Lasky's gotten 2 of them, and they're going to bait out with the bomb. So now Avnish and Brian. Bomb will get planted here. Brian on a huge flank now as he's coming from tunnels. And now they know, they might know, yep, they do. And that's going to do it. Avnish and Brian, the combination of those two winning this round 10-6 now. But again, the delay that we were seeing from Champlain, like it felt like they just were trying to question where did they go. I mean, it happened so early. Brian getting the initial pick inside of mid. And then they just were sat and they waited, trying to figure out what they wanted to do. And then Brian came in and got another pick and stole it, and then waited and tried to figure out what they were going to do. And yeah, it just seems like they don't necessarily know exactly what they want to do, how they want to do it. There's a lack of confidence in some of these calls for what to do.
If you're the UTD JV, you're happy to hear that, as they are one step closer from keeping themselves alive in this tournament. Reminder, the loser of this will go home. A nice find there for Avnish with that AUG. Sometimes the advantage of having that scope is getting those longer shots is far easier. At least for someone like me it is.
Yeah, Avnish getting boosted by Brian to get a deeper look into tunnels, into lower tunnel.
Dangerman was sitting with that deagle. He knows there's one on cast, just watching his back. Looks like we're going for a B hit again, Corey. We've got 2 players on site. There's Bates. He's got an MP9. A great gun for this kind of position.
There's going to be a super fast rotate as well. And they're going to have to worry about Brian, who's going to come in on the flank. Oh, nope. He ends up changing his position. He drops down. So he's currently on the on catwalk right now. But so he'll be on a quick rotate as well. Here comes the smokes and flashes. They've got some cover fire there from DeBoozer. And there's a nice little flash, and see if they can be able to leverage it. It causes a lot of damage. As now Danjamin inside the site. Peyton was already on the rotate, and that's going to wrap up the round. Quick round coming in at the end there for UTD.
There was an M4 on the ground that was dropped by DeBoozer, and they were not able to replace the FAMAS with that. I would say that's the only loss of the round that they had. Other than that, I think they're sitting pretty. They are not worrying about that. And here comes the AKs and the AWP in the hands of Lasky. 2 players cross. I don't know if there's a smoke there or not, but here we are on A-long. Bait trying to find his way, ends up pit, and was able to have Bait cover his back. And Avnish finding another pick for himself. I think towards mid is where that one fell.
Yeah, that was Officer who was inside of mid. So now they're trying to decide. And you see Danjamin just sitting out there with his knife, just waiting. There's some fights that are happening inside of mid right now that we're missing out on. As that is actually Paint and Avnish. Avnish with the AUG. Nade over the top. Oh, that's a beautiful nade. Beautiful nade. And Avnish is going to try to finish one. Danjamin winning that bout. And this is where this game has really felt like in this map. It's been left up to Danjamin. And we'll see. Danjamin is going to get peeked on by Brian. Quick flick is now the score 12-6. But that was a nice nade. 2 players low on health. The nade falls right over on the top as we take
all the way
look
from downtown. Yeah, look at that.
And boom, both of them are gone. 12-6 now. Quick attack looks like it's going to be heading over there towards B. Could be a lower B, lower to mid to B. But nope, they go ahead and play it through. Here's the molly that's going to slow them down now. One player's going, I thought we were supposed to be heading towards B, and they were right, and I think Bait was too close to the action. And there's the AUG coming out for Avnish. Left up to Zarkin and Danjamin. Nades, mollies flying in. And a teammate that is trying to join up with the rest of the group.
That's Brian, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he ends up going back, and so they decide to just go, you know what? We'll give up the B-bomb site.
Timing.
And so they haven't decided to push into the site yet. This actually ends up might being a good call. Pulls Brian out of position, but he is now back. And he saw an arm there. And he's going to go ahead and fall back, regroup with his teammate, pulls out the nade. His teammates are there to be able to help him out. And both, that was Paint and DeBoozer that were there, but Brian picking up the last one 13-6. So UTD finding the upper hand. As you can see, Danjamin 23-14 on his side. But the next best player on his team is 13-14. So Danjamin's doing everything he can.
He absolutely is starting to look like it's just not enough, unfortunately, here for Champlain. Started off hot in this series and has cooled down since. They lost last map 16-6, and we might have a similar result here as they are on an eco. Next round, we'll see weapons from them. If they lose that round, now we're talking dangerous territories as Danjamin's trying to find the angle on the scout. He gets a tag on Avnish, so that's a win at the least. And Avnish poking again. I don't agree with that, but...
Oh, the bomb fell inside of B tunnels as
Oh,
well.
oh, awkward.
And inside of mid was actually Paint. Paint pushed through the double doors and got himself 2. And now they know the bomb is inside of the B tunnels. It's going to delay them even. Well, Zarkan is going to let them know, yep, we were there. Let them know exactly that they saw the smoke as well.
This is starting to look like a repeat of last round. Tried to go B really quick, and now they're going to mid, and that's the scout coming through. And Brian's going to have the angle with the AWP, and he's going to knock him down. Tried to stop the flash, and now he's hearing a lot of footsteps, and an officer might have gone too far away to hear now, as I don't understand why DeBoozer's rotating off.
I don't know either. But it's not. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. It's a 3-on-1. Yeah, it's a 3-on-1. They're going to see the retake here, and it's going to peek out there. Then DeBoozer picked up the last one. 14-6.
Yeah, in the eyes of officer, DeBoozer didn't rotate at all. He was there the whole time.
Yeah.
So I guess it didn't make a difference.
Has won every round here on CT side.
Yep, and if they win this one, they might win this series, as that is a double AWP setup here as they go A long. Danjamin, he says, you know what, I'm going to take matters in my own hands. I'm going to go out, and I'm going to see what I can find. Finds 1, finds 2, and finds 3, but so his team finds nothing except their early demise, and that's a nice pick there, at least from Lasky. The 2 ops left in the round. Now we know one's towards pit. He's taking some fire damage.
He started walking backwards, and now the problem for this is that they've got 2 other teams or 2 other players to worry about. Avnish, who's in mid, and he wins that gunfight. And now look out for Bait. Officer caught in the middle.
Yeah, he is in no man's land. He's got to land some nice shots here, and it's not looking like it's in his favor. Bait's already got the angle, and boom, he's okay. Well, that's one nice shot to start with, and now on the other side of the DeBoozer, if he's able to find this one, he can bum rush the site. He knows he's in pit. Doesn't know that he's jumped out. He should check this angle here, and exactly what he's going to do. He's going to see him, and that's another shot. So Bait is nowhere, or excuse me, Avnish is nowhere to be found. And here we go. This has gotten a little bit interesting here. Officer can turn the tides around, and Avnish is going to poke. Oh, he misses the shot, but the bomb is still going down.
Tries to shoot through the box. Now he's waiting for this peek. And oh my goodness, standing out in the open. There he is, Avnish falling. You had the numbers advantage. I've talked about this several times throughout these 6 groups that we've watched. You don't want to put that scenario into a 1 versus 1 versus 1. Oh man, good job by Officer though. I mean, the way he played that one, he was able to work from angle back and forth and just picking it up. 7-14. That's the first round that they get to. It is a hard one for them to win. As Zardan going to push him out, but he's not even ready to help out his own. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and he actually burned alive.
Yeah, luckily his teammates helped him out, but he immediately switched to another weapon. Or switched to another utility. The whole purpose of throwing that molly is to pull somebody out of there to get a kill, and Paint now takes down Lasky.
They've got the site here. The bomb hasn't gone down yet. Brian's in a pretty decent spot to try and spray through. He's doing a little bit of damage, but the bomb goes down first. He says, Bait, what are you doing?
Oh, man, you're too close to me. 6 feet of distance, please.
Name is fitting. It was Bait all along. He thought it was an enemy. Forgetting which side he was on, but now it is a 3v3 retake. The health not looking great on the side. Oh, no, please put that grenade away. Oh, he's able to find one before he goes down. It's left to Officer with the AWP again. We saw, he misses the shot this time. Brian's alive. He's going to take the peek, and that's round number 15 on the board in match point here for UTD. Money is not... it's not bad, actually. It's good enough for this round number.
Yeah, you got the round bonus. Well,
Yep.
no, they won one round.
Well, it's
so.
still good enough to get at least an AK in the hands of every player. And sometimes that's all you need, as you've mentioned, Corey. That's landing gunfight or
winning gunfights.
winning gunfights. Thank you. It's the most important thing, and in this series, I think it absolutely is. His Officer's finding his way quickly towards those B tunnels in mid. Sees nothing, and if they've taken that bomb, and I think they should have seen them there with Paints being that far forward, or Bait, excuse me.
They're just waiting for their demise.
I feel like they're trying to wait for UTD to make a mistake here.
Yep, and that's just not going to happen.
Yep.
I mean, we've seen this. We've seen this song and dance before.
The Boozer finds one before the Officer picks him up. Oh, the Officer.
Yep. Paint is on a huge rotate right now, or sorry, flank right now. Yeah, Brian, easy enough. Little mouse one action. And coming in, he's going to make sure that there's no other players there that's going to join him, and he's going to chase after this AK. And here comes the final push of the game. At least that's my assumption. But hopefully I can stand corrected, and that's going to do it. Bait picking up the last 2 kills of the game, 16-7. That means that they win the best of 3, 2-1.
That's a straight. 16-7. Look at that.
Oh goodness, you get excited about the little things.
Why wouldn't I? It's the little things. The little things are the things that matter, Corey. That's great.
Yeah, so there you have it. UTD JV will now advance. They will be facing off against Drexel, and that'll be another best of 3 series. Man, what a just unusual.
Well said, Corey.
Yeah.
Perfectly defining that.
Yeah, it was something. What we ended up seeing was Avnish, Bait. We saw also Brian. They played really well there at the end, and they controlled the game. And Danjamin was playing lights out. He just needed the rest of his team to join him in that mix. So there you have. They're going to advance to play against Drexel. All right, so we're going to take a break. The next matchup is not supposed to start until 6 o'clock, which is about 30 minutes from now. We'll talk with the team, so stick around with us. We'll see if we're going to be playing this a little bit sooner, or we'll wait the full 30 minutes. We would try to keep within competition integrity. We told them that the match is supposed to start at 6 p.m. Central. We'll hold tight with that. We'll give you some updates as we go along here. So we'll be back right here from Esports Stadium, Arlington. Final best of 3 coming up after the break.